Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I have not actually uploaded the last episode, but I will upload likely the last one and this one. Uh, More than likely, I can be quickly editing them and exporting them tomorrow while I do other stuff. But nonetheless, here we all are once again. This time, all of us. Andrew has joined us once again. He is currently in tech school.
Heyo.
Heyo, heyo. And so, with all of that in mind, last time, last time we did all this, um, well, quite a few interesting things happened. Um, there continued to be some, people kind of went off and did their own thing for a little bit. Summer continued to try to decipher the code and figuring things out about the code. Uh, Les found Chun, the mute bunny chef, and made some stuff with them. Uh, there was a weird flying shape that flew over you guys at some point. Um, there were 3 coded pages of potions found in Otrax's little book that were deciphered to be ingredients for 3 different potions. Then there was the raiding of Otrax's wizard tower, in which a variety of traps were sprung, a shadow demon popped up, but you guys held together for as a bunch of dice at the table.
Sorry.
No worries.
I tried to mute the sound a little bit, and I thought I could do it without muting my mic, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
That's on me.
But you guys did some fighting, and then some retreating, and you ended up with a burnt tree because Mitt was not playing any games.
No, I liked that very much. He was like, we don't need anything from here, right?
Yeah. Just burns it. Then, as you guys were sort of having a variety of, mostly it was between Lest, Summer, and the Doctor, as I think Escale and Mitt were just sort of like, these things happen. That's kind of their mindset. There were some arguments that were had, and people ended up kind of going their separate ways until an individual by the name of Jack arrived, seeking to ask you guys a bunch of questions about what Aslam told you about, or things of that nature, revealing to you something most of you already kind of guessed, that Aslam is very smart, and apparently he knows a lot of sort of what has been happening. He's a big planner. He has plans. He's 5D chess guy, apparently.
That's fine.
Yeah. And then Escale decided, hey, I'd like to try to pull out this famed sword of yours from the stone. And Jack was like, sure, give it a try. I think there was some sort of trade involved. Information. It was information that was traded. And Escale pulled, and for a moment it looked like he was going to pull the sword out, but with the crystal growing up his arm, he eventually let go. Then, with that, right before leaving, for returning to Resort Dawn, Escale had wandered off, while the rest of you talked about, I believe, Remeroot stuff. And so, Escale, who sort of wandered off into the hills, looking for a dark and quiet place to be. Escale, you find a cave that you don't think was there before. A small little dark incropping
There may be
of the hill.
something there that wasn't there before.
And so with that, actually, Josh, if you'd like
It's
to
not gonna
come
be sweet or kind.
be alone with the DM once more, that's what we'll do. Hello.
Hello there.
You've retreated to a dark and quiet place. And here you are, after having almost taken the sword out of the stone, but have been told you heard the voice in your head yelling at you to let go or you would die. So now, you're here. From my understanding, a little frustrated. What would you like to do?
There's a new cave. That's totally cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to sit down, get a little kind of arrangement with my book shadows, you know.
Yeah.
Should get candles at some time. Don't have any, but I'll act like they're there. You know, sit down and I'm going to cast darkness on myself.
Good. A pitch black darkness fills the space. There's no light coming towards you. You can see partially through it, as per the nature of the spell, but it is dark. Revelry in the dark, as it were. That gif you've been sending that I do love.
Yeah, now, I'm just gonna, I don't know, I don't know if I can actually do this, but I'm basically gonna try to reach out into or through the darkness, basically get a form of communication going on with Patron Man, because what the crap?
As you
I
reach
wanted
out, you can partially see through the darkness. It is dark, but you almost feel the cave change in shape around you. The ground almost shifts. And a familiar air fills the room, similar to that one vision you had where you were in a crystalline cave with him on a throne of crystal. This skeletal figure with gems coming out of him. You feel his presence once more, but being in darkness, you do not see him. You hear a voice say, "You call?"
You stole me. That wasn't part of the deal. You said to go, explore, and see things for you. But there was that really cool sword that could have been mine. And you threatened to kill me. Why?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, crap. Oh, no. This character is deception, not persuasion. Oh, that's good, though. 21.
Oh, that is good.
Hey, let's go.
He pauses for a moment. You can feel sort of the quiet of the cave, this new cave you're in, because no wind seems to be coming through to this cavern you now are in. You hear him say, "I suppose I did go against my word. You just managed to find the one exception to our agreement."
What does that mean?
Well, I don't believe I have given you my name, have I?
No. I don't even know what to call you.
It's best not to share this name with anyone, but I will tell you it. And I will then tell you much about the sword you attempted to seize. My name is Razan Halor. That is, I'll just send you the name, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. The person who made that sword was a wizard by the name of Gran Choniz.
Are you okay?
He's long dead. He made that sword to kill me. Primarily.
Okay.
sword and me don't get along. And I'm what's keeping you alive. I was not lying when I said if you took that sword, you would die. Because I would be forced to leave you. Do you understand?
I suppose. But if you were leaving me, why did your crystal, my crystal, grow and cover my arm? How did that happen? And why did it recede?
Well, that was me invoking a bit more of my power on you than I would have liked. I was attempting to get you to let go. The crystal you have in your hand is a potent kind of arcane crystal. I have a very direct connection with it. In the same way that I was yelling at you to stop, the crystal was as well. I'm sure you've noticed you have a very direct connection with it too now. The spells you cast using the magic I have gifted you change its shape.
I have.
I promise you there will be much more power down the line. Greater than the sword. You have read some of the pages from the book, have you not?
I have.
There's some great power in there, isn't there? If it's power you seek, you will get it.
Do you have any plan with the sword? I can't think that having it close would be better than letting Jack keep it. I mean, he uses it as a hard thing. Doesn't really use a sword, I guess, but
In truth, though the sword's presence, you having it, would force me to leave you, I would be safe. My actual body is far away. I'm just keeping my distance from it.
do you have any plans for the sword? Is there a way to get rid of it?
There are a variety of ways to get rid of magical items, but one such as legendary as that would require the flames of the plane of fire or the flames of hell. It would require a very potent destructive force to destroy. A wish spell, maybe. Could do it, but wish is a complicated thing.
And how about its creation? You said Gron Chonies was your ancient rival?
Yes, he was.
How and why did he make this sword? This seems like a very special kind of sword.
It is. He made it specifically to handle beings of a specific sort. Not too different from yourself, actually. Those that have come back from the dead, or those that are not naturally alive. I am one such example.
So you've come back to life too?
I don't know if I'd quite put it like that. More, death is of very little concern to me now. I am what some would call a lich.
Or lich.
Yes.
Okay. Well, from what I gather, being around these people, and what I remember, death is something you're not supposed to mess with. I assume that I shouldn't let this be very well known.
You should not. But I've given you a second chance at life, Escale. Like I said, feel free to explore, do what you like. I apologize that I kept this one exception from you.
Okay.
Hmm.
I have other questions.
You may ask, but I do not know how much longer I will be able to communicate with you here.
Are you on the Dark Continent?
Hmm. You're familiar with it. Good. You've read on it. I know for sure people have talked to you about it. No, I'm not on the Dark Continent. But I have been.
Did you cause it?
I'm not that old. But I've been involved with it for quite some time. When you have studied like I have, things like that pique your interest.
So what did you take away from it? That's how it works, right? Everyone must take something once they go.
Yes, you either must stay there and never return, or bring something back. Something that most would consider bad. Powerful things. And you feel the crystal in your hand stir.
Okay.
I've acquired many things. I've been a couple of times. When you're able to avoid death, in the truest sense, things like going to the edge of all things becomes less scary.
In this potion
Yes,
that you wanted to test,
I was intrigued by it, yes.
are you normally going to do that? Want to test different things?
If I sense something of particular arcane worth near you, I will indicate such. All I wished is to identify and inspect its components. You could keep the actual thing. I would just like to know how it was made, how I could make it.
And what should I do with it now? You say that you don't want it, but I don't know how to use it well.
Suspect you could use it however you like. Giving sentience to certain weapons is advantageous, to say the least. You could pick a houseplant, give it life. There's a lot of things you could do. But no rush, you have it.
I want to use it on something that will grant me more power. If I'm to be denied this sword, which I was going to pull out, could I
So,
make something like it with this?
I did not understand you were one to seek power, but it does make sense. You have been in perilous situations lately, power is something you would naturally be interested in. Yes, whatever you board this on would gain certain power, but I would not waste it on your average dagger or sword. I'd get something enchanted first. And then putting something on an enchanted weapon like this would boost it quite heavily. Think of it like an upgrade. But you don't want to just upgrade a level 0, do you?
And what if I didn't want to upgrade one of those weapons that you mentioned? I can either stab with a dagger or swing a sword. Could I put it on crystal? Or is there some other kind of item that would benefit me, like a sword would benefit a fighter?
Kind of thinks about that for a moment. He goes, the crystal is connected to me and you. We are in wavelength with it. Crystals bounce around and receive waves of light. And in the same way, it receives us. I would worry that giving it a soul would weaken our connection to it. I would advise against it. Too many chefs in the kitchen.
Then what else should I look for?
Fortunately, Eske, I don't have necessarily enough on my mind. It's finding an enchanted sword to pour it on, or an enchanted dagger, or really any enchanted item could give it boons in its ability, while also giving it life. If power is what you seek, you've already been close to some interesting power. And I'm not talking about the sword.
Okay, like what?
You almost see a reddish glow barely coming from your crystal, and he says, there's a collector in Resort Dawn. He's an interesting fellow. Similar to me in a lot of ways, but is undead through different means.
Okay.
He has some powerful items. Powerful artifacts. If power is what you seek, then that would be one such place to go. Otherwise, it'll be the slow crawl of power you are looking at. Getting money, buying items, getting stronger. Improving our bond. The more you prove yourself to be a good asset, Escale, the more power I will grant you. Do you understand?
I do. Yeah.
I suppose you are free to try the sword again. But I warn you, I don't want to lose an asset so early. You will die if you take it. Do you understand?
I hear you.
Good. And with that, you feel the cave shift again. And it shifts even more. And you find yourself not in the middle of darkness in a cave, but just at the bottom of a hill. The cave is gone. And with that, I think we will return to the table.
All right.
Caesars and oh fuck.
Hello, we
No,
return.
I want to hear about the Little Caesars.
What about the Little Caesars, real quick?
Pizza cult.
Pizza cult.
Yeah.
There was a cult.
Yeah, I walked into a Little Caesars, and then I walked in, I, like, saw everybody had, like, the black cross on their forehead, and I was like, what's that? And then, you know, I realized that they all weren't there together. And I was like, oh, that's super weird. And the more more people came in with the black cross on their forehead, and I'm like, are we gonna die?
Yeah, is
Okay,
this
I'm
Walk
not
a
really
into a
curse?
cult meeting?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna really display my ignorance. Isn't that an Ash Wednesday thing? Or
I
is that
don't
also a Good
know.
Friday thing?
I don't know, man. I'm the ignorant one here. I thought they were all part of a cult, man. And
I have
then,
no clue.
we got our pizza and left, and I walked into the building, and I looked at my mom, and I was like, what was that? And she goes, I know, the line took so long. And I'm like, no!
What?
Speaking.
No, top tier humor is, what do you mean crosses on their foreheads? I didn't see anything. Oh my gosh.
Speaking of
Uh.
all of that, we are returned. And I believe there was a conversation that was being had or wanted to be had between the Dr. Summer and them, right?
I don't know what you mean by that. like I thought we went back to Resort Dawn.
Yeah, I was just
and
cutting
saw
back to
Demos.
some things. Yeah, we'll go straight to there then. Or not straight to there,
Is
but
there
I was under the impression you guys wanted to have a conversation and I just wanted to get Demos here and that we would cut back to that. But I could be wrong.
Oh, I plan on having this conversation once we get there. Because
Gotcha,
I plan on
gotcha.
locking 2 people in a room.
Okay.
That's good. That's not whatever.
So actually before we even get to you guys' arrival in Resort Dawn,
Oh, fuck.
Demos. We're gonna cover some quick stuff with you.
Always good.
Just to fill the gap between episode of Demos and his meeting with you all. Andrew, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Alright. You arrived in Resort Dawn, and you wanted to meet with a certain individual when you arrived.
Yes.
And I believe his name was... Shoot, I will find it real fast. The innkeeper of the Twisted Palm. The crooked wood elf, yes.
Uh-oh.
You arrive at the Twisted Palm sometime.
Quick question: are we doing this here? Or are we doing this alone with the DM? Before I start grabbing stuff.
I feel like this can just be done here, maybe, unless you want to be alone with the DM.
No. This is fine. This is good.
All right. The thing with Josh is because it's like hyper secretive stuff. This is stuff you'll honestly probably end up telling him later in the session, maybe later. So we shall see. But nonetheless, you arrive at the Twisted Palm. There are some old sailors there, some crooked-looking patrons, and you see Palm there at the inn. He hasn't noticed your entrance, but what would you like to do?
Well, give me just 1 second because my computer's all finally hooked up, and we get to try out my new headphones.
Ooh, that is
Ooh.
exciting. That
I'll be
is
back.
very no worries.
He gone.
He gone. He'll be back. Yeah, no, scale stuff is wild right now. I won't go into it, but
So many notes.
yep,
So
many
many
notes.
questions.
I believe in you.
Yeah.
and
he's
a lot
not
of
dead.
death.
Yep. Oh, so many pathways, Remarute, the Navigators of Time, whatever Aslam's up to. So many things. Welcome back.
Hold up.
Yeah, don't worry, you'll figure it out. Switch in some of your input and output devices.
I'm turning him down just in case.
How does it sound?
It sounds pretty awful, gonna be real with you, Chief.
Yeah, I gotta fix some shit.
No worries. I can also just turn you down a bit and that'll service us. Oh.
Things got some gain.
Yeah, he got some gain in there. I can hear everything. I can hear his vocal cords vibrating.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that is, I guess, how sound how voice works.
I will say.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello,
Hello?
Andrew.
Hi, how are we sounding?
Slightly better. I am gonna turn you down just slightly. Say hello again. Say hello again, Andrew. Again? You were very quiet there. We will figure it out. But,
Quick question. The flashback is on the 20th of the rain moon, and
You guys
Where-
arrived at the end of the 20th of the rain moon, basically.
we arrived where?
Resort
To
Dawn,
Resort Dawn.
and met up with Demos. And I'm just
Oh,
catching
we're
up with
at
what
Resort Dawn.
Demos. Yes.
Okay.
Uh,
I guess that's what I missed because I had to leave for my meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I kind of rushed us to there just so we could meet up with Demos.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So it only took us a few hours?
More like you guys got up so early, if you recall. It was around lunch, and then going back, if I recall, I said it was like about half a day out of Resort Dawn to Critterton.
Yeah, it wasn't too far.
It wasn't too far.
Okay.
You had to go through Hill Giant territory again, but
This is the first level quest that doesn't make you go across the map yet.
yes. No, that is coming up, the long journey to across the map. Which I'm excited for, because that's time passing and random encounters. So, hello, Andrew, you've
But-
returned?
Hey, you know what? I hear half day
Should
of
still
brewery.
be here, yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you, and I think you are sounding perpetually better, so. With every passing moment. So, Andrew / Demos. You're in this tavern with a bunch of old fishermen. And you see Palm, he has not noticed your arrival yet. You see a very familiar Errol, a minstrel, who was playing here last time you were here. Looking far less nervous than when you first met him. He's just doing his job. What would you like to do?
Like to walk to I'd like to walk up to the bartender.
To Palm.
Yes.
You walk up,
please.
he turns, and you see him for a moment, his eyes go wide, and he goes, "Oh, hello there. Hey, I hope you are doing well." He immediately starts pouring a drink.
Oh, that'll make me feel a lot better.
Thank you, that's so. And he kind of looks over your shoulder as if he's expecting to see a guard that he had met earlier, Escale, behind you, and he's like,
He
"Oh,
won't
we're
be
good."
coming yet.
Okay.
I hope I don't have to call him.
Oh. Well, what are you here for? Just to drink, or?
Information.
Kind of looks around and he waves at a barmaid nearby, and she nods, and she escorts some people away from the bar. So it's just you and him at the bar. He goes, "What kind of information you looking for?"
I can talk about this information just a wee bit more privately.
Kind of pauses and he goes, "All right, come to the back room."
Yes.
Yeah.
I will follow him.
It's a familiar back room. You see the drug making sort of alchemy tables there, and you see some barrels of just regular old inn stuff, like storage. And you see the familiar chest that is likely full of goods and coin. And you see a door that leads to underground passages. And he goes, "All right, what is it you need?"
Fellow. Found a fellow.
What
This
was-
might gel.
Yes? What?
Slash.
You're cutting out a little bit. You're cutting out just a little bit, my friend.
This stuff here.
Okay.
You know, setting up a new setup.
No worries, no worries. What do you
Always-
say in response to him, wondering what information you're looking for?
I met a fellow named Bruce. He was actually I don't think I ever got his face. I'm assuming he was human.
He was human, yeah.
He was a human hunter.
And he was human and a hunter, or he hunted humans?
Yeah.
Oh, I
More
see.
than just humans.
Mhm.
Usually
Humanoids,
Odin-
humanoids, right?
Humanoids, Odinmen like
Oh,
myself, and took goods and sold them.
You're interested in the trade of, I suppose, humanoid pelts, humanoid body parts then, right? Is that what you're asking about?
So Yes, and also, where would you go to sell people like myself? Who would
It's
you contact, and where would they?
messy business, that stuff. I usually stay away from it. Get
He
too many
says-
people seeking revenge as he looks at you for a little bit. But nonetheless, I believe I have heard rumor of one prolific collector of things like that here in the city.
Even better than the travel involved.
Now, unfortunately, I do not know too much about this man, but I do know an easy way to get in contact with him.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at obtaining information.
You have a few options. You could attempt to get in contact with the city crime lord, Chop, the Kenku. I had told you about him before. He's a noble, but he deals in the underworld here. Or you could get your hands on some rare body parts, rare teeth, rare something, and offer to sell it. I doubt you'd get in contact with the man himself, but one of his subordinates certainly would come. And he kind of looks at his board on the wall that has all like the underworld quest and some like selling this weapon, you know, under like criminal sort of board. You could make an advertisement and I could certainly get it around.
Why?
In return for your continued silence on this whole business, of course.
Of course. You scratch yours, you scratch mine, I scratch yours.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have something of that nature. That would be of interest to him, but I'll need to get back to you on that.
Of course. Take your time.
This
That would be my advice for it. But know that whoever this man is, he's very secretive.
As I gathered that.
Yes? Demos?
Touch if I need
Oh.
anything else. And thank you for not letting me have to call my friend. That would
I definitely do not want that. Your friend is scary looking. I mean, you're scary looking in terms of size, but like, have you looked into your friend's eyes? He's a bit terrifying, not gonna lie.
particularly low.
Yeah. Scary guy. But I assume this Bruce fellow you mentioned is no longer alive, right?
No.
No, he's not alive anymore, or no, he's alive?
Oh, no. He's long since passed alive.
Oh, okay. Good. I guess I won't have to worry about him, huh?
I play nice.
That's good. That is good to hear. All right. Well, again, I can of course put out an ad for you, but if I do so, I'm not going to take any responsibility for what you do to whoever shows up, okay? What was that?
I said obviously.
So their options are lure one of his subordinates to a deal involving some sort of human body part or humanoid body part, or a rare one at that, or try to get the attention of Chop.
Keep both those in mind. Thank you so much, and
Of course.
nothing to say here, nothing to report back.
All right.
Things are good. And I will finish the drink and leave.
Skipping some time of you sort of in Resort Dawn being like, I wonder where the people I did the exam with are, because you did acquire some information that might be pertinent for them too.
Did I? Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah, back in episode of Demos, yeah.
Yep.
um,
Yep. Okay.
And walking the streets of Resort Dawn, you do indeed see the squad. You see Summer, the Doctor, Escale, Lest walking into town, and you are all once more reunited. Ba-ba-ba.
Boys are back in town.
Wham.
Boys are back in town.
So,
Indeed.
mhm.
You all
Well,
return.
it is excellent to see you again, friend.
Yeah.
You're a sight for sore eyes.
You have no idea what we've been through.
Oh, I can say the same.
He
How
died.
did we catch up?
Yeah.
Yes, that did happen. I did die. Thanks for coming right out and saying it.
It was only temporary.
I
Wait,
leave
is
for
it-
like
Was it a secret? I'm sorry.
I leave
No, it
for
just-
like a couple days. Fuck, y'all already dying?
We found out Eskiel's a wizard.
Oh yeah.
It
Is it Harry?
Indeed,
Yeah,
we,
well,
we're on our way to talk to Mimi. Do you want to call?
You're
we
just
should
cutting out a
collect
little bit,
some-
Andrew.
You going to go talk to?
we have to collect a reward for the job we just finished.
Mimi's general store was getting, robbed, sort of, like a little bit.
Yeah, yes, I remember.
Right. We took care of that. That won't be happening anymore.
Is that where Kaden died?
The general store? No.
No,
General
no,
store.
the
No.
things causing the general store.
I
How
mean,
about we let you know as let's walk and talk.
Yeah, walk and talk.
Fill you in, friend.
also, can we maybe say, we tell him what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to actually go over it.
Andrew, how caught up are you on the episodes? Feel free to be honest.
Life's been fucking.
Yeah, no, you've been hectic. Basically, they went to a place. Turns out the people stealing the goods were sentient animals. was a possum.
It's called Critterton?
There's a place called Critterton.
The squirrel was evil.
Yes, and I pulled a hoodwinked on them and had the cute animal be the bad guy. And yeah. There was
You
a
guys carrying a mountain goat?
there was a mountain goat. Yes,
Who
it was
sang
His
cursed
name
to
was
sing.
Jeb.
Yeah, his name
His
was
name was
Jeb.
Jeb.
And when we say his curse was to sing, it's very loose. It's very,
Very
loose.
loose curse.
It's very loose.
Yeah. But
It's more of a lot of held out words.
True. But they essentially went to Critterton, discovered the reason they were stealing goods was because the village was being attacked by some evil bears and wolves, some sentient bears and wolves. They went to take care of it, found out Otrax was actually doing all this as an excuse to trap adventurers and steal their stuff.
Who was the local squirrel wizard?
He was the squirrel wizard.
And to eventually, take over the entire world.
Yeah, that was his goal. World domination, classic stuff.
Yeah.
They then found
wizards.
out the reason the animals were alive was because of a parasite that granted sentience to non-sentient living creatures. And the reason they were quarantined in this region, surrounded by hill giant territory that only licensed adventurers are allowed through, is because it's contagious and could lead to pretty much an apocalypse of just every animal that coming to life, like alive, like sentience, which is fun. So, but they interacted with them. It was a good time.
And then Jack of the Beanstalk stopped by.
Oh, the reason Caden died was because a cone of cold was cast and Caden was killed.
Yeah, we got fucked.
Yeah.
Well, and then after the cone of cold was cast, I think a bear wailed on him some more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We were so close to TPK.
It was
We
really
had a
close.
bear
very,
Real
very,
close.
very close to TPK.
Hmm.
The only, I think we had we paused the episode because who had to leave
Oh, we
again?
had to
It was
stop
Josh had to
halfway
leave,
through.
yeah.
Yeah, Josh had to leave, And then I was like, I don't have anything I can do because it was my turn next. And then they were like, you can use more than one of your fucking wand things, right? And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah, no, you can use like 5 of them at the same time.
5 charges.
And that's
yeah.
what I did.
Yeah, just
Also-
all the charges
also,
in one magic.
I just didn't know how the wand worked.
Also, using a potion as a bonus action.
Yeah.
It's helpful.
Because basically it all came down to one turn of Lest's on whether we were all gonna die or not.
Mhm.
And Lest managed to like totally knock this bear back.
Luckily,
and
the squirrel was
then
relatively easy. to
revive Summer.
The bears are what got us. We got the squirrel. The bears are what fucked us over.
do. Yeah. The bears were cleaning house after the squirrel's cone of cold.
Yeah.
And then we had a rave during the day once we got back.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a
Oh,
wild
yeah,
party. Yeah.
Drunk.
We had a fucking
Oh,
party.
Hayden got drunk. Also,
Should.
the first time I think.
It was live.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
We had a lot of arguments. too.
There was a lot of familial fighting.
Avoided.
Yeah, I mean Escale, and there was also a cleric by the name of Mitt who was a frog and had a Kermit
Yes,
voice.
love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. He's the one who brought Dr. Caden back to life. The
Oh,
frog
something you
cleric.
might notice now. Caden has a big old shock of gray hair because he died.
And that's an
One thing
aesthetic.
y'all have noticed,
Mhm.
Delos has a dope ass new helmet now.
Oh hell yeah.
And you look at his glaive that he uses as a walking stick, and you could almost swear that the things hanging from it that are clanking together almost and quite unsettling look like human bloody teeth.
Like just rows of sharp teeth too. They're like sharp.
So
human
when
teeth,
you
yeah.
when you say almost, do you mean like almost, or do you mean like that's what they look like?
Exactly what they look like.
All right, it's exactly what they look like. They look exactly like bloody human teeth. Got you. Got
But
you, got
metal, sharp human teeth, yeah. Metal. So on your way, you share all this information with him. And I'd say, Demos, if you want to share some details of your adventure, there'd be time for that too. It's a big city.
That
As
it
you're
is.
walking. Yeah.
Why not? Oh, boys, it's been quite fun since I saw your last. As I can tell, you've had some fun without me. Found some
I mean,
information
fun is a
out.
stretch.
Eh, it's still living for the most part.
Except for the
We
one who
had
died. And
a
the one who
fun.
goes-
Everyone's alive
Except
right
for
now.
the one who died and the one who, and Summer just sort of glances at Escale, says nothing, and is like,
The
but
one who
anyway.
looks dead all the time, yeah.
Moving
"Let's
on.
did
Moving
make
on,
some
yeah.
great stuff though. Met a new chef friend."
All right.
I met up with my acquaintance from my old tribe. Old tribe. My tribe.
Did you find who you were looking for?
Not what I was looking for, but not the people I was looking for. Some wonderful information. Got a location to go, which seems to be popping up a lot lately, along with you guys.
Hmm?
Remember that blacksmith with that symbol on that bullet we found?
Yeah.
Yeah, that keeps coming up. We might need to go do something with that.
Can you say that again?
We might need to go. That keeps popping up. We might need to go
Oh boy.
figure out what that's all about. That
Uh-huh.
popped up, and I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, you're just popping in and out a little bit, Andrew. Is it is your
Yeah.
laptop still like loading stuff and all that? So you're just a little out of this world.
See, actually, never
Like,
really been
we're
setting up.
Am I?
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
everybody having the same
Yeah.
issue?
No,
Yeah.
we're all
Yeah.
hearing
Okay, so
him.
it's
all
not
good,
me.
Yeah,
I
no,
got
it's
you.
not you. Yeah. It's on Andrew's side of things.
I know what it is. Shit.
You got this, Andrew. You got
Is
this.
your noise suppression on
Is.
Discord? Yeah, okay. It's noise suppression.
It's-
Yep. You got to
Now
move
you
that
look
all the
up.
way to the left, right? Like that little thing.
Oh no, I just turned off the voice suppression.
Good.
No, noise suppression is like a beta thing on Discord, and you can just turn it off.
Good.
Yeah, it's off. I don't know.
I think
if
that's
you can
already
hear
much
background
better.
noise
You
or
are.
not.
We can't hear a bit,
Yeah.
but like it's not bad. Don't even worry about it.
When we get done with the session, I'm gonna see if I can get
Yeah.
Zach or Josh or someone help me
Sure.
actually properly set up the mic.
But nonetheless,
Uh,
say what you said once again, this time without cutting out, about the smith and all that.
yeah. So that Smith that had that symbol on the adamantine bullets we found
Right.
a bit ago keeps popping up, and it popped up a little bit more frequently than I would like without us investigating or
Okay.
inquiring. So if we ever do make a way over that way, that might need to be an idea.
Sure. Where is he again?
Fuck, you're asking me like I know.
You do know. He's in Krem. He's in the
based in
nation of
Krem.
Krem, yeah.
And where's that again?
To the east.
I would have said to the north. To the east!
To the east, yeah.
Oh, is that like on the way to Remerut?
Well, it'd be
Yeah,
more
okay,
like
yeah.
if you were geographically, places like Godengrad, Remerut, all those places would be actually on the way to Krem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Same direction though.
Yeah, it's all east.
That's good.
His name is Zinski, right?
Oh, his name is you say it again, Josh?
Zintu.
Semthud, yeah, the deep gnome. Yep. The adamantine smith, yeah.
Well, I was actually hoping we could head towards Remerut. I've learned a little bit of information and about what might be affecting the people there, and I don't think I could let it sit on my conscience too long without doing something.
Fair enough.
But before we go, I have a few things I'd like to do in this town.
In this city.
Well, I mean, we should like check out of our room in Resort Dawn.
Oh no, we're already kicked out. It's been too long. We have a room we need to check out at a certain place, and we have. I'd really love to stop into the public records office. I'd like to look at a few things.
We should collect a
award.
award.
If anybody wants to join.
What did I didn't hear what Adri said?
We have to collect our reward.
Speaking of, you arrive in the marketplace. Very familiar place. The market is abuzz with markety sounds.
Nice.
Could you please
You know.
describe those sounds, DM?
Well, I'm gonna try to find those sounds. I'm gonna be honest with you, Truth. If my keyboard will work. Hello. Hello.
Yeah,
Matt's
I
keyboard
also
says
have,
no D&D.
Hmm?
I said Matt's keyboard says no D&D.
No D&D right now.
I also have an item that I would like to pick up. I think I can still afford it. I'm actually not sure. Let me check.
We'll just do this.
Just double checking. This is the city reserve done, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a place you guys have been.
I would like to find.
Yeah. So you all arrive and you see Mimi once again. This sort of I actually need to find a description of her. Apologies, just so I can make sure I'm not messing her up. Yeah, wood elf. Yeah, she it's like that's all I need. Just need reminded. She sees you guys come and goes, "Oh, you've all returned." I will say I have
Indeed.
already noticed that stuff has been being taken from me. Anymore.
Yes.
Indeed.
Is that what your guys doing?
It would-
Yes.
Looks
Well-
over at all of you.
Hey Matt.
Mhm.
Is Mimi a licensed adventurer?
No.
Yes, we did find out what was happening with the possum It was trained possum. But it all got sorted out.
Okay. Well, that's all I need to know. Really?
Nice. Okay, sure.
Listen, I paid you. Listen, I set out for
that
the
was
job.
out of character.
and-
Summer.
Yeah.
Summer is like, oh, cool as a cucumber. She is like, trained possum, group of traveling magicians. Yeah, it was wild. But you know what? Told them never come back, and they won't. So.
All right. Well, that suffices for me for now. Because listen, it's been almost an every night occurrence, almost. Stuff being stolen. So I'm glad it's been stopping. And she kind of reaches in her satchel and she pulls out a big sort of bag and she goes, "The reward, I believe, was 500 gold pieces. That's for your whole group. So split it however you like. I guess it'd be 100 for each of you." She hands it over to you, Summer, and she looks over at the rest of you.
Oh, I hand it to Lest.
Okay.
Like immediately. Like she just like, okay, cool, here you go.
What is it again?
500
You're
gold
an adult.
pieces.
Yeah, I'll put it in the group
The group
The
fund.
group fund. We can figure out how to split it
we
later.
have, well, no, we have 500 platinum in the group fund, or 500 gold, fucking platinum. So we have 1,000 gold in the group fund.
Yeah, we also have a big box of gems that we need to split up that we didn't do last time, but we can do that later.
Yeah, we'll need to get somewhere. you
Oh,
know,
the box
get-
of jewelry that Mitt gave you guys
Yeah.
or whatever? Yeah.
How much, Matt? Can you remind me how much those tankards cost?
Yeah, I can. Doo-doo-doo. The tankards that you can buy at Sora's Box of Wonders cost. Gosh, where is it?
Anchors of Plenty were 60 gold pieces.
Yes.
Oh,
thank you.
okay. So I'm good.
Found it.
I've got enough.
Mhm.
We're good.
There was also a mariner's armor for 500 gold, sentinel shield 400 gold. There's some stuff, and he might have more now. It's been a couple days. So, you guys get that 500 gold, and she kind of looks at all of you and goes, "Well, thank you very much for having done that quest for me."
Our pleasure. Thank you for.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Fuck.
What was that?
Sorry, that was out of character. I thought I was on mute.
Oh.
I was rereading
And-
my journal and I completely forgot that I wanted to do something before we left Critterton.
She looks over at you, Eskil, and goes, "And if you'd like, I could give you something to eat or drink. You look malnourished."
Thank
Oh.
you. What do you get?
Oh,
Katie puts a hand on Escale's shoulder. It's actually very bad for malnourished people to start eating and drinking quickly, but don't worry, we're working on it.
do you want some
Wants a
tea?
little bit of food.
Some tea and some food? Okay. She runs and grabs some for you and comes back and she hands it to you. She kind of goes, "You guys can go now."
Okay, cool. I want to pick up that tankard. I don't know if
Yeah.
other people are wanting to like fully like look around again, or if that can just be like a thing I just like do.
Do people want to magic shop it up, or do we want to
Nope.
Eskil?
Oh, well, yes.
Yes. Okay. So
I
we
mean,
have
I need
Eskil.
to
and
just
some-
go to a blacksmith.
That's right. To finish getting your see if he's finished your glaive or not.
But on the way as we're between shops, I'd like to just say, Demos, part of our encounter with Jack did leave me wondering if we should look for different hotel accommodations.
I don't understand.
As in, not the Blue Hour. It's the Blue Hour, right?
It's the Blue Hour Resort, yeah.
As in, not the Blue Hour, and not Resort Dawn. Maybe anywhere else? We have a
Why?
map of the city, right, Matt?
I do not have. You have a map of a city. I don't have a map of a city.
Cool.
Yeah.
But we would be able
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
look at this map and find, another hotel somewhere.
Yeah. Let me just run
Why
through
not either of those?
neither Prologue's Resort or Blue Hour Resort. Don't want to do either of those.
Why not?
Yes, I have no problem with heading to one of those inns. I actually am curious.
Let me just real quick recount the taverns and resorts and the themes, and the
Why
shops.
are
I
we
don't trust any of these.
saying-
What?
Why
I'm sorry.
are
Can
we
you? Whoa.
You are very loud for some reason, or like very high gain. Yeah.
Close to your mouth or not. Sounds like you're eating it.
Sounds like you're eating the mic. Yeah.
Mic is further away from my mouth than what I just added to.
You might just want to go into Discord settings and turn down your input volume for now.
Yeah, I'm doing that now.
Rock on.
Look at now.
A bit better,
Fuck.
I would say. It's okay. You have a whole new setup. It's no big deal. Go ahead and say what you were saying again. Your question.
We good? Hello?
Yeah.
We are good. Yeah. Sound real nice.
Why not either of those places? What's wrong with them?
I don't like all these people butting in our lives. My life, mostly. Yeah, mine. I don't like all these people butting in my life. And honestly, I don't particularly. I don't trust Jack either, but I'm with him on the whole I don't necessarily trust Aslam thing.
Pretty much, I think they spooked about the ghost stories of Aslam.
Fair enough.
I don't particularly mind going to that inn. I don't think we're gonna die. I don't think he's gonna have
I
us
don't think
killed.
we're going to die either.
Honestly,
I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't like not knowing.
I slept on
There's
a dragon,
so.
so anything's
You did.
better than
Yeah,
trying.
Demos
What?
just said he
Sorry,
slept
wait,
on a
what?
dragon. Yeah. Say that
You
again.
mean like a carving of a dragon?
No, like the legit adult wings, 5 breath,
What color was it?
coppery goldish.
Oh,
Look
I
at you. Didn't know that.
Did you get any scales?
No. That's a story for a drink. Maybe 5.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Dale.
Mhm.
I'm just leaving it at that for now. I slept on the dragon, and I'm just leaving it there for now.
Okay,
So-
there's just a lot of inns in the city.
There you go. Those are the
there's
ends.
There's a lot of taverns and inns, and I just don't. I don't know why we would go to the Blue Hour Inn, necessarily. I mean, it was just a recommendation, and
We could hit the sun, kids resort.
I think we should just go
You and everything
Go
else
where?
Kind of.
exactly to say about Aslam
to the inn.
made me more curious.
to the Blue Hour. Why?
Well, I want to go check it out.
Why not?
I'm even more
You know
curious
what?
about it
Fine.
now than I
Yeah.
was
Why would I?
before.
You know what? What would I know?
No, I think
Lol.
you make a good point. Don't get me wrong, but I also
Well, we can go
kind
to
of-
the. We can go to the Blue Hour and be curious about it without staying there.
I think we should stay there.
Well, I think that would be part of the fun.
The fun of just doing what somebody told us to do.
It's generally
Uh,
what I do.
Well, no, I think the only way to figure out what's going on is to follow through on what we know, and we know that that's somewhere he wants us to
But
be.
I don't need to know what's. I don't need to know what's going on with Aslam. He's allowed to play 5D chess with someone else. I don't want to be a part of it.
Well,
I'm
if you don't
sure.
want to be a part of it, I think finding out what it is a good way to start.
How? How does that make sense? If I know exactly where it is and all I have to do is be anywhere else and look at all of the anywhere else around here.
Speaking of, you arrive at Sora's Box of Wonders.
Well,
You see the box open and some guy comes out with like some potions and leaves.
No one wants to go to the public archive with me, right? That's not up anyone's alley but mine. It never really is.
How about
I
Would like to.
Oh, you.
I'll
okay.
go. I mean, I'll go with you, so that we don't have to split up.
Oh, right. I mean,
Mm-hmm. What's on the list of things people want to do some magic
we
shopping,
haven't-
right?
How have we? How this isn't?
No, like people
So
want to
the-
magic shop. People want to go to archives. People want Sorry.
Okay, but so the resolution to this conversation is going to be everyone moves on and ignores it
No, keep going.
and ignores
keep
what
going.
we're saying,
Nah, keep going with the conversation. I'm just
because
writing
that's
stuff
gonna
down.
have repercussions if that's how it works.
Yo, I just said you can keep going with the conversation. Keep going.
I know what you said, Matt.
Mhm.
Tegan also said something. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
What did Tegan say?
I mean, I lost track of my train of thought. I mean, I don't have anything I want to purchase necessarily, and I really don't have funds until we split up our earnings. So if you're very worried about it, we don't have to go.
I just don't know why. Why? The only we just got a bunch of money, and some guy who is clearly holding out information that's very important and personal to at least two of us told us to go to one of the lowest class inns in a town famous for its good inns. And because we don't care, we're going to investigate it?
Personally, I'm quite curious what he has for us.
But
I'd like
also,
to know more about him.
as-
Because
as
he's
well-
quite a mystery to me.
Aslam's very, very old, and he plays a very long game. It's not like I don't think we're going to go to the Blue Hour and it's going to blow up or anything like that, right? I mean, this is probably a very long game sort of move. We meet someone who knows something kind of thing. Like there's really no guarantee that we'll ever figure it out, and I just don't. I've played a lot of games in my day with people who think that they're smarter than me, and it's just not very fun.
Understandable.
And Summer's gonna say to Les, like, obviously I'll go wherever you go, but I don't. It seems like we have enough stuff to do and think about and problems to solve just on our own without roping Aslam into it. That's all I'm saying. And I just want to go get my tankard.
Escale, you wanted to do some magic shopping though? Potentially in the Box of Wonders, from my understanding.
I would like to talk to Sora.
Cool. All right. For you, Malaya, that is 60 gold pieces. For
Ha! Gotcha.
And
My
Real
name is
quick.
Summer. Keep
Character.
going.
yeah. Aslam or not to Aslam? That is the question.
That's. Did you even? Okay, whatever.
No, I was listening.
I don't
to
think
the
Matt
conversation.
registered it.
I don't think
Nope.
you did either.
I don't think you did.
Wait. All right.
You called me Malaya.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Multiple D&D
That's
campaigns
okay.
get you mixed
That's
up.
okay. It's great because we got to tease you about it for a solid 30 seconds before you realized.
Good.
No, I
yeah.
just want the tankard.
Cool. You walk in,
Of the.
Escale, and all of you are there, but yeah, Sora's there. He still looks sort of disheveled slightly. He's a half elf. His hair's all messy. He's got his crooked glasses, and he sort of goes, "Oh, welcome back. I did happen to get a few bags of holding. that was something you were interested in. I know you were interested in it before. I didn't have any then, but I have some now.
Oh,
Do you?
did we all want those?
Well, I already have one, but
Mhm.
I was wondering if they had the cold bag of holding.
Oh, a bag of cooling.
Yes.
I just might. He's gonna roll to see if he has it. Does he have it?
Please.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
I do indeed have that available. Let me give you a price range real quick for what it would be. Well, I heard Mimi's much happier. Apparently, she's having a much better time now. Things, which is always good. It's always good. And Demos, hello. You're big and strong. I hear the blacksmith has a very peculiar order ready for you if you have the funds.
Finally. Wonderful. That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah. You know, I just hear about things, and my mind's always a buzz. So,
Hoping I might be able to bring it here and have you work a little magic on it.
oh, I certainly could for the right amount of money. Sorry, let me tell you how much that bag of cooling is going to cost you. See, it's a bit of a rare thing. It's pretty much like a portable thing that can like keep food cool. I guess keep bodies cool too. If that's, I mean, adventures do some pretty weird
More
stuff.
interested in the food, but I may be able to interest you in a deal.
Oh,
of
well,
some sort?
flat rate for it right now is 600 gold pieces. I'm willing to negotiate.
How much is the platinum to gold thing again?
One platinum is 10 gold.
Yep.
Okay.
Just
Hold on. I have to do calculations.
Maths.
Maths.
What is the flat rate again?
600 gold pieces, because it's a bit rare.
I'm eating my last piece of my birthday cake right now. As soon as it defrosts.
Okay. Okay. I might need to roll for this, but I was wondering, for 400 gold, every time I come to this town or see you, I can bring you a cake.
Wait, like a full-on cake, or like
a full-on cake? Because with the bag of cooling, I can now carry more pastries, and including ones that I can, like cakes and such.
That is an interesting deal, I have to say. Roll a persuasion check.
Okay, baby, don't fail me now. Nat 20.
Ah, okay. 400 gold pieces and a cake every time I see you.
Yes, and of course, right now I do not have a cake, but I can give you 8 of the cookies that I made with flowers that I picked.
Okay. Well, I actually like that deal quite a lot. So I'll take it. 400 gold pieces for a bag of cooling.
I got 37 gold left, guys.
Nice.
So
And for you, Demos, for the record, depending on the kind of enchantments you wanted, if we're talking just like a base bonus to it, right? That varies. Let me go ahead and give you sort of my base rate for that kind of thing. So if you wanted to get it, let's say a metaphorical +1 bonus, you know, metaphor, if we were putting numbers on it, you'd be looking at 600 gold pieces to get that piece of equipment enchanted. If you're looking for a +2 bonus, you'd be looking at 7,000 gold pieces. See, quite an increase there. And then if you're looking at a whopping +3 on a weapon of some sort, then you're looking, or armor even, shields and stuff, you're looking at 20,000. So it goes up quickly. But it's well worth it if you have the money for it.
Well,
Just
we'll
so
get
you
there
know.
one day.
No worries, no worries.
I'll be.
And hey, other places around the world might have different rates. You never know.
What was the theoretical +2?
7,000. I will say my +3 rate is pretty much the cheapest you're gonna find.
I will keep you in mind.
Yeah, my +2, maybe not. But
You win some, you lose some.
AKA when I rolled for how much his +3 thing was and the rolling thing, I rolled the minimum you could get for the cost.
Hey, Matt.
So. Yeah.
For the bag of cooling, can I just put another bag of holding, but put cooling next to it?
Yeah,
in
you
the,
should be able to.
edit
You
thing?
should be able to edit. Yeah, and just call it cooling. Yeah.
Cool.
Hey man, that was
How much?
600, 7,000, and what was +3?
20,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's a very rare enchantment, so
Mhm.
it goes up in price.
How much was just the bags of holding?
600. Oh no, that's the bag of cooling. Sorry, the bag of a basic bag of holding is gonna be just a little bit cheaper than that. Sorry, give me a moment.
Well,
A bag of holding is gonna run you here in my store because I made quite a few of them because I forget how valuable they are. It's gonna cost you 150 gold pieces.
I will take one.
Okay, you can add a bag of holding to your inventory. Hero.
When do you?
Hey,
Sorry,
How ma-
also,
sorry. Multiple people talking to me at once. I cannot handle it. Who? Sora's like, wait, Summer.
Aiden just wants a bag
Oh.
of holding.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Woo.
Cool.
Here's one.
I was just wondering, I think we talked in character about reasons why it would be useful for us to have bags of holding, but I don't remember what they were, and I don't really know that I need one. But if anybody remembers why I thought I needed one earlier, speak out now.
We talked about having just one in the group so that we could hold gold and shit like that. But
Oh.
I mean, I think everybody just wanted one in
Yeah.
general so that they could hold their own stuff.
Oh. Well, I think I'm fine.
There's a reason Caden kind of wanted his own. It's because he's gonna have not only gold but expensive spell components and shit like that.
Mhm.
And it's probably best not to, you know. He
Mhm.
might have like weird shit that probably shouldn't mix with like less pastry ingredients. But if you want to put stuff in it, go ahead.
That's when stuff gets real interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's sort of what I have there. So
I don't know. Should I buy one? When are you encumbered? How much weight do you have to be carrying to be encumbered?
Depends upon your strength.
Yeah, and size.
Okay.
Like, I
So-
don't become encumbered until I hit 540 pounds.
let me check your character sheet. It might tell me.
Is there a formula for that I can just?
Yeah. You should,
I don't
should
know
be
it,
able to
but
find
yes.
pretty easily.
I can't hear what Josh is saying. Can you repeat that?
He
You
said
should be able to find it
he
pretty
doesn't know it, but
easily.
yes.
I'll try to pull it up.
Sorry.
Your carrying capacity, Summer, is 225 pounds. You are currently at 131.
131. Right. I
Why?
can see where I am. See what my capacity is.
So if you click on weight carried,
All right, that's
it'll
fine.
pull up. If you click on weight carried, it'll pull up the
oh,
little thing.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yo, I can push, drag, or lift 420 pounds.
yeah.
Listen,
No.
we're having a great day.
Well, I could. I guess if I put some of this stuff in a bag of holding, I could carry people better.
Precisely.
hmm
Stuff in
Okay,
a bag
I'll-
of holding, you're welcome to put it in Caden's. Like he
How many
will offer
people
that
have
to the
you
group.
carried?
It's carried a wolf.
It's true. You also dragged Caden's dead ass.
Yeah, not dragged,
Dude.
definitely carried. Carried Caden and the wolf. Yeah, but I mean I got exhaustion. I think from both of those.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean I just have like junk.
He goes, listen, bags of holdings are not common, but they're they're around, especially bigger cities. You could always wait.
I'll just buy one. It's fine.
150
I don't know
gold
why.
pieces.
I don't know why I'm giving Summer more impulse control than I have.
150.
What
Okay.
is its impulse control?
Great question.
That is a good question. So it goes, all right. I mean, if you're interested in some of the stuff I had last time you were here, like the Mariner's armor or the Sentinel shield or things like that, you can always let me know.
Oh, I don't have any more money. Oh, did you happen to get in any more, like, any different... Oh, wait, you don't have arrows at the store. I forgot.
Nope, I don't really do that.
That's
Sorry.
it.
Well,
Well, I have 55, so I'm chill.
Yeah.
if nobody else needs to talk to you, then I would like to talk to you, but not about purchases.
Oh, about making something?
No, not quite.
Oh. Andrew, can you? Yeah, thank you. uh, he goes, yeah, sure. Go ahead. Talk to me about it.
I was told by a friend that there is somebody in this city that I should seek out.
Oh,
Somebody who is known as a collector and often has very powerful
what does he
merchandise.
collect? Just stuff in general?
I was told about him in, or them, in the sense of powerful gear.
Oh.
So I
Well,
assume you being in the ring you are, you would know somebody like that. That might fit the description of a little less than living.
wait,
Hey
what?
Matt,
A
I
little.
hate to cut off this conversation. I'd like to cast detect thoughts on Escal.
Oh,
I love it.
sure. So you
Are
get
we?
very
That's a
surface.
very
You
good
get
point. Are we in eavesdropping range?
well right now. You guys can just hear Sora and him talking.
Oh,
Like, I wasn't
Cool,
under the
never
impression
mind.
he did a private thing here, but yeah, you can cast detect thoughts. That means you get surface level thoughts. Occasionally, Escale share what Escale's surface level thoughts are during this
The
conversation.
moment I heard him say from a friend I was told to seek out somebody in the city, that's when he cast it.
Okay. Surface level thoughts can be images. They can be just things that are going on.
Okay, so I think, are you supposed to be him? Do you even know about him? You probably get a very dark image of a very live person at one point.
Mm.
I mean, you'll get more as the conversation continues.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's,
the live person, is it a recognizable? Like, does it look like Escale, or does it look like fucking somebody?
kind of hard to tell because it's like you're staring through darkness itself, but
Okay,
not super Eskil like.
rad.
He goes, "Excuse me, you said something about not quite alive?" Says Sora.
From my understanding, it's somebody that has found an interesting line in the boundary of life and death.
Okay, this is. I mean, listen, I deal with adventures. I hear some weird stuff, but this is up there. Weird stuff.
I need to know if you know them.
I do
Or we need
not
to find them.
know of anybody quite. I mean, I know a lot of adventurers who have, died and brought back, but that's usually through, you know. You seem to be talking about like not quite alive, not quite dead kind of situations.
I don't know if it's that quite exactly.
Okay. If you're interested in people with powerful magic items, I mean, we have a few guilds here, prominent ones that would have people with pretty magical, powerful stuff. We have the main Soul Roar guild here, right? The sort of HQ of that very powerful guild. We have the Pearl Guild, which is sort of a water-based guild. And then we have our local city guild, of course, and we have a offshoot of the Beanstalk Guild here.
How about we get away from the idea of guilds?
Okay.
What about somebody who's known as a collector?
I actually I'm gonna roll intelligence for him to see if he can.
Yeah.
You know what?
Also, Caden, you totally got that. Like, whenever he was like, "Well, maybe he's not actually dead." I think he's dead. As far as I know, like he's pretty not dead.
He snaps
Not
his
dead.
fingers and goes, "A lot of nobility. They're the kind of people that like to collect things. Actually, come to think of it. And I actually think I have.
Matt,
he's an eccentric fellow. Give me a second.
Yes, I would hope so. I have a
Is
theory.
it gonna be? Oh my gosh, it's a race.
Y'all see Dino's
That was my
listening
wonder.
in very
It's a
closely.
race. It's a race. It's a race. It's a race.
I just assume everyone is listening in because we're in this magical
Yeah.
dimension
It's just a little
space. It's
magic
not like
shop.
we can go to the
Like
next room.
almost like more closely than what Summer is.
Yeah. His name is Wait.
Oh my gosh, where is he?
I think
Sure.
he goes by Jahi, right?
Oh my gosh, where is it? I know I have it.
Is it the
Is
vampire
it the
dude?
vampire? Is it the vampire?
It is the guy you suspect to be a vampire.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck me.
Right, yeah.
he-
Well, I think that is his name.
yeah,
What's
he
his
goes.
name?
He goes by Jahi, I believe.
Right. Okay.
You
I
guys
don't
know his actual name is Fusum, though, from the one thing. I think
Fusim
Yeah.
Jahi.
Fusum Jahi.
He's
That's his full
philanthropist.
name. Yeah,
Found
his
him.
last name is Jahi. Thank you. I just had it Fusum and then underneath Jahi, and so I got confused. It is Fusum Jahi, first, last. Yeah. So his name is Fusum Jahi. And he kind of goes, yeah, he's eccentric. He's a well-known local philanthropist, but he has this really sort of interesting house, and I've heard he's received some interesting shipments time to time. He's a bit
Interesting, like
eccentric.
no plant life can grow around it.
But,
Interesting, like a pond.
Also, like, there's also like other nobility, but that's the one that jumps to my head because I rolled a nat 20 on an intelligence check to see if I'm collectors. So,
Right, okay. Do you know where exactly he lives? I think I've seen his house.
oh, he
somewhere.
lives in the upper residential district, kind of close to the palace, sort of where the rich folk live.
Right, Matt. Do I know if there's like if you have to be something special to get up there to the upper?
You're a licensed adventurer. That's all the sort of permission you need, to be
Sick.
honest. Yeah. To be there. And other than that, not really. I mean, you might get, you know how it is. If you're a very poor, destitute-looking person in that place, you might have the local guard be like, "Leave."
I
kind of
excel in
thing.
that look.
Yeah. So.
We also have a basement level entry from the sewers.
Yep, we sure do. We know how to get there.
Nah, guys, we're getting a benefactor. Unless they kill us.
But yeah, he's an eccentric collector of things.
Okay. Yeah, that might very well be him. I know I've heard that name.
Oh, well, wouldn't be surprised. He's does a lot of charity events and stuff. So
Right. Everything I hear about him says he's quite a nice guy.
yeah.
Must be,
What do I get with detect thoughts on that?
he is like, oh, I totally forgot about that. Okay. Vampires really that bad?
Is what comes in his head. Yeah, are vampires really that bad?
Yeah. Be like, I'm sure it'd be fine.
But he does also kind of look at you, Demos, and go, listening quite a lot. Are you also familiar with Fusum?
I switched detect thoughts to Demos.
I'm guessing the first thing you hear in Delos' head is just like,
Thinking sounds.
You just hear thinking sounds of like, I find that answer vague and unconvincing, but okay. Yes, always looking for collectors.
All right. Well,
You'd
be one of them.
What Tegan would see.
Did can I ask? Did the good Dr. Caden try to hide that he was casting detect thoughts?
Probably just kind of ducked behind one of the shelves as he did it.
do make
Like-
a we'll say a sleight of hand check against
Oh.
people's passive perceptions.
I
But
feel
you
the
know,
need to speak up for Summer, who would probably not love an
hey,
active.
You know, he also could be casting detect magic in the magic shop. Remember?
True. What did you roll for sleight of hand?
I'm rolling it. I haven't
Gotcha.
done it yet. Natural 20. So you didn't.
Oh
see shit.
yeah, you are hidden away.
All right.
So,
Got that verbal hidden under a cough.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
just tell that
Drop some shit.
Sora's doing pretty well on the insight right now, and he could just tell because you weren't hiding it that you were listening very deeply. He was just curious.
No, I was not.
Yeah.
I'm guessing after saying that, Tegan, you would get a brief flashback of a forest which is fire, some bodies laying about, and then like almost like the feel of panic even though you're not there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would flash to images of a man who looks to be in a very uncomfortable position, chained up in a shack, beaten, bloodied, with 2 tusks hanging on his neck. And then you would see the downwards jab of a glaive and then blackness, and then you would see a pouch on an altar with ivory dust blowing in the wind.
Mm.
That would be about all you would get as like surface level thoughts, because he's just thinking right now, not knowing someone's trying to do this.
Yep.
What a gorgeous montage. Can I just say?
It was really
job.
good, Andrew. Really good job there.
Thank you.
But yeah, he just sort of goes, yeah, I mean, he's really reclusive. I don't know if he'd let you see his collection. He's a bit of a recluse in his house there, but
We might have
keeps his
something-
windows shut all the time. That
I
kind of
mean,
thing.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for that.
Of course.
I felt like I was at a loss, but honestly, I mean, you took care of us pretty well last time. Those tankers of plenty that you made for me
Oh, yes.
have been great.
Oh, they're
So,
always
I have to
very
thank you.
useful. I heard Jack, the famous guildmaster, was in town. We're in the city earlier.
Oh, really?
Jesus.
He once did a quest for me back when he was like sort of, he was not starting off. He was maybe,
A low rank.
a lower rank, C, B, somewhere in there.
right.
Yeah. Ah, those
Very cool.
good days.
Do you know him very well? I can't help but
Oh.
think that he might be a good person to connect with.
I don't know him that well. There's an offshoot of his guild here, so he doesn't
Right.
come here that often. But I'm more familiar with like Aslam and like the Soul Roar Guild like proper because their main base is here.
Oh, yeah?
I have a question
Yeah.
for you, Matt.
Are you a big
I
fan of
remember
him?
his name.
Oh, you have questions about the Soul Roar Guild? Go ahead. I know them
Detect
well.
thoughts on him, baby.
Sure.
Wait, are you talking to Andrew or me?
He's kind of looking at both you and Demos.
Gotcha.
One at a time though, because I don't want to get sensory overload. Okay.
Just to Escale.
Hey, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really just, Aslam. I mean, he seems like an excellent guy. He was the one who proctored our test
Yeah.
for us to
That's
get our
awesome.
licenses, but like, what, a week ago? Something crazy like that?
Couple
so
days, yeah,
I really
maybe.
just, like, he seemed like such a cool fellow. I'd love
He
to
really
get
is.
in more contact with him, but I mean, I don't even know where he is or where he goes.
I think he left the city like just a couple days ago. In Demos, you
really?
remember you saw him getting ready to leave the city when you left as well.
Summer has turned full around pretending to pay attention to something else so she doesn't have to hide how like hard she's rolling her eyes. Like, whatever, cool.
But
I'm gonna be somewhere over here.
the guild's abuzz with the attempted assassination of him. I mean, it's a big deal. It's their guild master,
Oh
It's a
my
big deal.
gosh, that was so crazy.
It was, yeah.
And the
It's
way that
buzz
he
about it.
reacted was just, oh,
Yeah, he's a pro to say the least, for sure. I mean,
Hey Matt, what's he thinking?
he's just thinking like Aslam comes to his shop sometimes and we'll be like, make small talk with him, bring him some food, or be like
Does he actually like Aslam?
he does.
Cool. Is he hiding something? Probably not.
I mean, he's just thinking about the guild as a whole, and you get this the Soul Road Guild is known for its sort of focus on heroism, sort of following like a dream, like having like and being like that heroic image, very protagonist feeling, huh? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But So definitely sort of an ideal perspective of some of them, and he sort of goes, but yeah,
Okay.
I mean,
I switch back to SKL because it's fun.
Aslam, he's a very smart fellow. He keeps that kind of under wraps, I think, to help the rest of us not feel so out of the loop.
Yeah, I feel
yeah,
that.
for sure.
Quick note: you definitely, in switching back to me, you definitely caught a glimpse of whenever Oslam called me a weird one at the graduation ceremony, but he said the weird ones normally make it farther. So
Mm.
that's a that's a memory.
Yeah. But I mean, if Aslam, here's the thing: Aslam has an eye for these sort of things. So if you passed his test, you guys are probably gonna make it far. I mean, and he looks at Les and goes, I mean, you're already giving me kicks every time I see you in the future, so I think you guys are already at that top tier in my perspective.
Oh, thanks.
But no, pretty much everyone he's taken a personal interest in is well known or has made it far. Jack's a good example. Really early on in Jack's career, Aslam sort of took an interest in him. And so many people. There's a guy by the name of Merrick, who's pretty well known around sort of the Odingrad part of the world, and
Do I know that name?
I'd say you would, because Merrick is a pretty well-known adventurer. He's known for he's not a Soul Roar guild member. He's part of just the local Odingrad guild, which seems like not very cool, but like he's S rank for sure. He's very high level, but he's known for almost looking at adventuring like a day job. Yeah. Like he clocks in at work and then he leaves, kind of thing.
Would he have come to the cafe a lot after like that? Because that kind of like
yes, and the funniest thing about him would when he would go to cafes, it does just kind of look like a guy just got off work. Like he doesn't look like an adventurer, really.
Yeah.
So
it's like Nanami from Jujutsu Kaisen. It's a day job.
Mm-hmm. So
Summer is like, when he starts talking about Aslam taking an interest in people, like visibly antsy and probably edging toward the door.
But he's an interesting fellow. I think it makes sense that people would try to assassinate him. I think just because there's also between you and me, because I hear a lot from adventurers. There's some infighting between the adventure lords lately, right? Like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, the Azorius Guild, really well known for law and order, has been climbing its way up the ranks, and there's...
You cut out there, what?
Oh, the Azorius Guild, the sort of guild of law and order, has been climbing up the ranks, and really, the only guilds it's below are the Witcher's Guild, which is just a monster fighting, sort of hunting guild, and the Soul Roar Guild. So Aslam's currently, in lots of people's eyes, kind of keeping the adventure system moving the way it has and trying to keep the Azorius Guild from seizing power. Some people think the Azorius Guild is behind the assassination, but apparently Aslam made a statement somewhat recently that was not what he believed had happened.
Well, I mean, if you're the best, I'm sure tons of eyes are going to be on you.
That is true. I hear it'll be a few days before the next week's paper comes out, but I think he's in it. The sort of world newspaper.
Right. We'll have to look out for that.
Yeah. I mean, it goes all around, right? There's a really good system of just the newspapers going all around the world, so. Very magical. But, yeah. I mean, I don't know how much longer you guys are going to stay in Resort Dawn. Are you guys thinking you'll be sort of local adventurers? I doubt it. You guys aren't locals yourselves, right? So would I expect to maybe not see you guys for a while at some point?
I kind of look around sort of that area. I have no idea.
Well, either way.
Probably not.
Survey says maybe.
All right.
Probably not.
Either way, if I don't see you guys for quite some time, I will look forward to, again, if Aslam has his eye on you, I suspect I'll see you in the papers one day. I mean, besides, them talking about how you guys passed, yeah.
Let us hope it's for something good.
let's indeed. So yeah. Demos, you had some questions for me about the Soul Road
Question.
Guild, and yeah.
Not the soul deal. Do you know if Ronald is still in town?
Oh, Ronald, I think left some time ago.
Has he come back in?
Nope. You know, Ronald was at the small village you went to. You got a ride from a dragon.
I didn't know if he came back to visit Ron or not.
Oh.
That's why I was asking.
Yeah, you don't get the idea that he has.
Damn.
And he goes, and Ronald was only in city for a bit, but he's a loud fellow. I think I would know if he was here.
Yeah, yes.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Of course.
Shall we be going?
Yes, I think we shall.
Gone.
Gone. Where to next, squad?
As we're leaving,
Oh.
Hayden pats SKL on the shoulder and goes, "Remind me to thank you later."
Demos,
Hang
while in the
on.
market, you want to real quick get your cool new glaive, right?
Yes.
All right, so just sort of working your way past the blacksmith, you see this.
Hold up 1 second, y'all. I will be right back.
It'll be real quick. I forget his name. It's not Zenthu. That's the other guy. His name.
Local blacksmith.
Oh yeah, Klaxar Vractrin. He's a bronze dragonborn. And he sort of sees you and goes, "Oi!
Hey!
I finished up your new glaive again. I had to make it from scratch because it'd be weird to modify yours, but and he kind of pulls out a double-sided glaive. And he goes, I made it of relatively high quality because I knew you were a new adventurer and thought you deserved slightly higher quality. You see there's some design in like the leather and like it looks nice. He goes, it's gonna run you about 40 gold pieces. Normally a glaive would cost you 20, so double a glaive is gonna run you 40. Do you have that kind of money?
Oh, I like that math a lot.
Oh.
I do.
All right.
I will hand him. I'll hand him 40 gold. And do you, perchance? Odd question for you.
Oh, I might have an odd answer.
Have you ever worked with adamantine before?
Oh.
I say quietly.
He goes, very rarely have I. I am the sort of main smith of the city. I do have adventurers come down to ask for it, but there are more skilled smithies elsewhere.
I like it local.
Okay. I mean, listen.
Are you able to melt? Are you able to melt adamantine?
That I can do.
Another odd question for you.
Okay, go for it.
I will gesture to the lovely set of teeth I have on my
He
glaive.
looks up and his eyes kind of go wide and goes, mind if I take a look? Hey?
This is fine.
Yes, I'm wondering if these can be melted down and inlaid into my horns.
His eyes kind of go wide and he goes, it would hurt, but we could do it.
Yeah, it's fine. I can deal with a little pain. As you see, he's just cut to hell.
He goes, I gotcha. And he kind of looks at him and he's sort of moving some of the blood around and he goes, the signature of Zenthut.
Yep.
He's a really well known in the trade. Really well known.
Yes, I've heard.
Yeah. A lot of the best adamantine stuff comes from him.
I've also heard.
Be ashamed to melt these down, but hey, if they're yours now, as he looks, kind of shows the blood a bit clear, it's like, I'll do it. Again, you're an adventurer, so he's sort of like, I'm not going to question the blood all that much.
Can I come by tonight?
You certainly can. Do you want me to hold on to them for you?
No.
Oh, okay. He hands them back. He goes, I may have rather selfishly wanted to look at the craft and such. It's,
You can examine before you melt them, but
Thank you. I would appreciate that. Hey.
I'm gonna clean them up a wee bit, get some of the skin and stuff off
Some
as
of
well.
the gum tissue, yeah.
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 I'll see you tonight. Thank you.
All right,
And I'll
thank
catch
you.
It's a
Boy,
date
if you
over.
guys have listened to that episode, it was a fucking gory episode. The last
Yeah, the episode of Demos there was an interrogation scene that
I would
was
be
wild.
surprised if it wasn't knowing you, Andrew.
No, and Andrew, yeah. No,
It
what
got-
I
it got-
in terms of D&D, Andrew is really good at describing like action or like the actual combat. Like he's really good at that. I love him for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a story. Oof, boy.
And the times I've had him as a DM too. He's just really good at describing like the mechanics of like the fight, and yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it's hard to pull off.
Yeah. Yeah, you reconvene with the group, and
Well, Demos, you take care of what you needed to.
Yeah, you see, he has this fancy new glaive.
yeah, with double-sided.
That thing is so much taller than me.
It is bigger than US scale, yeah.
So, Matt,
Yeah.
how does that work with the thing I grabbed? Is it we treated it like the double-headed scimitar?
Yeah, I believe so.
Fucking wonderful.
Yeah.
Alright, well. Don't poke yourself with that. Looks like you would hurt.
Oh, it's gonna hurt a whole hell of a lot.
Right. Inch away from him.
You notice
The
Demon
number of times you have done hit point damage to me already.
you
Scoot away.
notice the feeling that since Demos has been back from a little excursion, something's changed.
Doctor, you wanted to go to archives and like
Yes,
like
I'd
the
like
library.
to go to basically no, it's not the library I want to go to. I want to go to like where they keep any sort of
Civic
like
records.
yeah.
City
I
Hall.
want to go to the DMV, man.
You can certainly
Well-
go to where the administration and the papers and the scrolls are kept for sort of
Yeah.
city business. And being a licensed adventurer, you would show them your card and they'd just be like, all right, come on in.
Seems legit.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Is there a meeting room we could borrow?
Oh, yes. Sort of an older lady that goes, oh, yes, of course. Real quick. And she kind of opens a cabinet behind her, grabs a key and goes, it's conference room 3Z.
Excellent. Is there one next to it?
Yes, but not really busy right now.
I'm just wondering. We might need to split up. So yes.
Oh, sure. She grabs another set. This is the one next to it.
Thank you.
Can
I take both
Three
views?
Y.
Caden, if you want us to buzz off, we can buzz off.
Oh no, I don't want anyone to buzz off. In fact, I'm very happy all of you are here.
Inside check.
All right,
Yeah,
roll
good.
an
Yeah,
insight check,
Me
Demos
too.
and Summer.
Holy shit! This is I just got my own dice here too. This is my first roll of actual dice in over 3 months.
Ooh, good.
How do we go about attaining records?
Natural
right.
fucking 20 on my metal set.
Good.
24.
Of course,
Two.
Andrew. 2.
Kate's being dead serious. He does not want anyone to fuck off right now. He wants everybody there. He has a plan, and he's gonna execute it.
Demos, that's what you get.
I got
Also,
it
you
too.
see a bit of mischief in Caden's eye, but you know.
But you know.
Also,
what time of day?
You guys arrived pretty late in the day of the 20th. It is a
Mhm.
pretty much, because it's like spring, so the sun does set later. I'd say the sun has set at this point arriving at the archives, and it is quite late.
Perfect.
Well, not quite late, but the sun has set. It is dark now.
Excellent. I start leading the way towards conference rooms.
Okay, I wanna, Matt.
Go for it.
Summer's gonna like stray, and she's gonna see if there are any records of like she's gonna look up chefs.
Chefs.
Yeah.
Demos is gonna ask the lady at the desk
Mhm.
if there's any books on the original Odin men. A lot of the stuff that was brought up by Bruce.
Got you. So first off, Summer, sorry, you were wanting to find something like documents on, what was it again, Summer? Point of order.
Chefs.
Chefs, the
She's
chefs.
gonna-
That's right.
Summer wants to look up like.
I was thinking old ones or something. Not chefs, local
No,
chefs.
no,
Yeah.
Now that we know the general direction we might be traveling, right?
Mhm.
Summer is going to put all of her investigative research, like years, like since she was 7 years old in academia to work,
Mhm.
to try to look up like restaurants that have been highly rated along this route and where their chefs like are, like where like really good retired chefs might be. Like find those names and then go look up those names to see if she can find where they live, to see if she can keep track of like where certain ones are on the
Make
route we might be traveling.
an investigation check.
Okay.
Matt.
Mhm.
Les is gonna end up being those two, like in the hunter test, those two adventurers that like rate food and shit.
Yeah.
And then can Les wants to go to the lady and look up Osimar lore and the season color.
All right. So
While
Demos,
this
as
is
you
all
go
happening,
up,
Caden
yeah.
walks towards these meeting rooms, turn around and sees everyone scatter and goes, "Come on!" and like sits there with his head in his hands and goes, "Can we first?" It's
And
like herding
yeah.
cats.
And Demos,
I got
you go ahead with your investigation check. Sorry.
Oh, just I got a 19 investigation.
Oh, yeah. That no point of order. We do need to do that first. My mind skipped over the roll for whatever reason. Yeah. So you rolled a 19 on your investigation. You think you have a few, mostly in major settlements. You definitely don't know necessarily the side of the road, local sort of big deals, but you get a few restaurant names in sort of bigger cities and bigger towns. Which this is just
And-
making me know that as we head east, I gotta flesh out the
Right.
path.
Well, she's also looking for like if chefs retired, right? So that kind of, because I mean it's a civic history.
Civic record.
Also, she's comically involved. Like she has a pencil in her hair, and she
Mhm.
has like papers are scattered, and she has to like scramble to remember what order they went in. And she's like, and also she's like definitely, she's taking some notes, but she's getting used to the sort of like her photographic memory has come in proper, and so she's like really taking advantage of that, like going fast. And
Sure.
yeah, you would definitely think she was researching like the secrets of the universe or something.
But it's really just retired, unique chefs.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, you get some of those. You can just write in your notes. You have a bit of an idea from here
a
to
list of some chefs.
yeah,
of some
from here
good
to
chefs.
east. Yeah,
Some good chefy
Some
boys.
good chefy boys. You have that info. Demos,
Okay.
you asked specifically for the original Odin men, or the history of Odin men, I suppose. Documents.
Yes.
She kind of goes, well, we aren't necessarily a library, but we have a lot of palace books, so I think we can certainly find what you're looking for. And we'll see if she can. She
Not
has
Caden
advantage
can
'cause
try and
she's
help.
here. She already has advantage because she knows the records here and all that. Cool. We have an order then. We'll do Demos looking at stuff, Les looking at stuff, and then yeah.
Would also like to
do
look at
Eskiel.
stuff.
Yeah, Eskiel would like
And
to look at
Caden will
stuff
continue to stand there being pissed off.
too. Yeah, she kind of gets back to you and goes, and she kind of whistles, and you see this sort of construct, not a warforged, right? Not a sentient being under control, but an actual construct sort of rolls on by. It seems to like be able to like almost extend, so it's a very long boy. And she says, could you grab a book from some books from row? And she like says the number and the row, and the construct wanders off.
Can you have it delivered to the rooms?
Oh, to the conference
The
rooms.
key.
I
I'm standing
certainly
right
can.
outside the rooms.
I can certainly have that happen, yes. Now the lady at the front desk turns to you, Lest. What were you looking for?
Since they're not at a library,
Oh, don't worry. There is like books here too. Think of it like
okay.
the people in the palace would like come here if they wanted to find a book on something too.
I want to. Is everybody? I'm making sure everybody's out of earshot before I ask this.
You can do that. Don't even worry.
And I'm going to ask for if there are any records of the marriage of Jen and Siltulmill. I can't say his name. And then
Oh.
I'm gonna ask for books on the season caller and Asamar lore.
She kind of seems to grab some sort of magical. It has like letters on it, and she types on it a bit, and it glows for a bit, and she goes, "I'm not getting anything on a Gem and or Jen and are they local? Are they Resort Dawn people?"
I'm not sure.
I'm
My
sorry.
friend can't remember.
Well, we have no record of them here. Oh, if you're looking for the nation of Viscount, Odengrad will have a much more wide collection of such documents. If you're looking for out of this country, you have to go to them.
That's good to know. Thank you.
And she goes, and Asamar stuff, yes?
Yes.
We have lots of documents on that. Kind of calls over the construct, which has already delivered the books to the conference rooms, or buy them because they are not opened yet. And he goes off and comes back with some documents and books as well. Some of them are like small, little, almost like, not pamphlets, but like smaller, like archival documents, and sets them down. And then she turns over to you, Escale, and goes, what are you looking for, young man? Or old man? I honestly can't tell.
Thank you. Right. Well, I'm looking for some books that talk about a fellow who I've been suggested to meet with named Fusum Jahi.
Yes, Fusam Jahi. He comes
Right.
by here time to time to retrieve some documents and look at stuff.
Oh, that's right.
Well,
If
he
you
doesn't.
want-
He has people come to grab documents. He's very shy. He's kind of a, what are they called? The people who don't like to go outside. Agoraphobia? Is that it? Yeah. He doesn't like to go outside much. He stays inside.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he does do like big speeches and stuff sometimes, like for charity events. But I don't know what he has. He doesn't like to get out a lot. But
Understand.
I can get you some documents on him. Some of the charity work he's done would be recorded and things like that.
Well, more so, I was wondering actually about his house. Because,
His
I mean,
house.
it just seems like a really cool place. We've
I
walked
mean-
by it a couple times, and
All right.
I mean,
I can
maybe
certainly
I'm
do that.
just
There would be
crazy,
records of
but
its
it seems
construction.
kinda cool.
There would be records of its construction. And since
Letting you know right
construct
now,
off-
as you go to find these documents, you probably find Caden crouched down, also going to find documents. He was looking for this too, man.
Nice.
Wait, did you go off on your
and-
own to look for them? Like not asking the lady,
Yeah,
but
no, Caden's dad used to do this for a living. Like he
Caden.
understands how to navigate this.
as you're like, oh, I found the part of the archives that'll be like house stuff, and you think you're about to find a name, a metallic arm comes down and grabs the paper from your hands and puts it in a pile. These very dexterous metallic fingers that come down.
Like what?
Pile. It's like a very
I-
long-legged, long arm. It has like 6 arms that are for like grabbing papers and stuff, and it's just like.
Excuse me, kid. Like follows it.
I
And
would
it-
also
yeah, go ahead.
request books about the Soul Roar Guild.
You can
and,
certainly
like,
do that. It's founding
their
and all that kind
founding.
of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. She goes, yes, Soror Guild. It's been around for a while. A lot of young people think Aslam founded it, but it's not true. He's just the current
Oh, really?
guild master. Yeah.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, if I could get those books, that'd be excellent. Thank you so much.
Caden's
And,
following one of these metallic people. Please give this back.
The metallic thing just sort of like turns around. If you want to examine this construct, you can. I don't know if you want to, but
Sure, why the fuck not?
make an investigation check.
He's not trying real hard. He's really annoyed right now. That's another fucking nat 20.
Wow. Immediately you're like, I've read about constructs before. This thing seems to be of a Nuvian make. because they're the
Mhm.
major export of sort of clockwork stuff. It's
This is
either
not a
that.
Warforged,
It's either
though.
that. It's not a Warforged though. It's either it's usually either on New or Mechanus, places where Mechanus is involved,
Cool.
where sort of constructs come from. But yeah, construct is a big export of Anu, so and it sort of brings all the papers towards the conference room, and the lady and the robot just sort of nods to all of you, the construct, and it walks off. It's really quiet. You can tell like it's meant to be quiet as to not bother anyone. It lumbers around.
Right.
It would be creepy if it was in a dark room, just to be clear, because it has like
It's-
long legs, long arms, and has 6 arms. It would be kind of creepy.
It's fine.
As soon as Caden walks in from the like chasing this robot, it's just about to be like, "Where the hell did you go? I've been waiting now for a while."
It's like you, and he looks so done. He's like, God damn it, you have no idea what I've been through lately.
There you are. It took you long enough.
Is everyone here?
Matt, we need library noises now.
We do. You are correct.
Is everyone here?
Where'd you see this? You must find them now.
I don't know what you're saying. I'm doing chef research. What are you? I don't understand
Would
what.
you like to sit and do some
No,
research?
like I, Trisha, don't understand why you are shouting at the air around you while we've all split up.
Shouting, he's just exasperatedly huffing.
But it's like they're not. I don't.
People have
I
split
wasn't
off.
under the impression that people were like near each other enough to hear that.
I think
I mean, it's a public records office. It's not a library. Like, right? Like, there's nowhere to like sit.
there
But it
is.
a
You are
public
right.
Conference
Records. It is a public records office for like a very like heavy tourist town where like a lot of business and business
Mhm.
partners and probably marriages happen here, right? Like it's probably rather sizable.
What I would
was
say
just
is, yeah, go ahead, Demos.
grabbing books to read in the conference rooms.
Yeah. What I would say is this: from what Demos said, and then kind of what Les and Eskiel followed, they were kind of getting books to then be brought to the conference room. But as yeah, you look around, you do not see Summer. Summer is somewhere in the archives, looking at chefs.
Summer is absolutely the kind of person who would find a completely like a section on 70-year-old tax law and sit on the floor. And like cuz she's going through a couple different sections of records, right?
Yeah.
Business records and address records. Probably to find address records you have to go through marriage and adoption records. So like she's got a lot of stuff kind of spread out.
For sure.
Is the robot passing by this room, perchance? That we're
Once it leaves, it doesn't really come back. But you can go back to the front desk and ask for its assistance again.
Sorry, I'll open the conference room doors.
All right.
I go to the front desk.
Yes.
You don't.
I'll be right back. I say. I have a question.
I might have an odd answer. Says the second time said this campaign. That might just be the name of the episode. I might have an odd answer. Go ahead.
Could that little construct thing of yours find someone in this area?
It could do. She looks around and goes, "Oh, your one friend is no longer here."
Yeah.
All right, I can fetch for her probably. He won't. The construct won't drag her back, but
Damn, that would have been hilarious. That would be fun.
she kind of writes on a little like piece of parchment and hands it to the robot and the construct thing, and it lumbers off. As you're looking at chef notes, you feel it's like very light. It's not disturbed at all. Like it's not like you're being shaken. It's a very light, like gentle poke on your shoulder. It's a gentle poke on your shoulder, Summer.
Wait, what?
A gentle poke on your shoulder is felt, Summer.
Oh, yes?
And you see this
Sorry.
construct there, and it holds up a piece of parchment that says, "Your friends await you in the conference. Would you like me to take what you're looking at there. And it's
Is
the
that a
construct
thing?
just silently, and it sort of nods its head.
I kind of have a lot here. Are they in some
It holds
sort of
up its
trouble?
6 hands, and you see like the construct fingers split, and now they're like little hands on those. So it's just like a lot of grabby bits.
Fingy,
No,
fingy.
that is-
Yeah.
that would be
One
creepy.
sec. Stay right there. And Summer's gonna like transfer like tiny pile by tiny pile, like everything that she has arrayed around her on the floor, over there. And she's like, is there floor space there? Because the tables probably aren't big enough.
The construct just sort of turns, looks back, and shrugs its shoulders.
Wait. Oh, it's just that I don't really want. Are there other conference rooms that maybe I could get separate?
The construct shrugs its shoulder, which you guess indicates that it's beyond what it's programmed to do. The questions you're asking.
Can we go back to the front desk first, maybe?
It nods its head, and its fingers sort of reach sort of around and are just picking up the different papers and books and keeping it organized though, and like putting it.
Right. Well, Summer like kept it all.
Oh, okay.
Would have handed it to them. Yeah. Anyway.
And it has some hands to spare, and a hand comes down, makes itself less creepy, like the fingers come back together, and it like comes
Right.
down, almost like if do you
and
want to
then-
hold its hand to walk back to the front
Oh
desk?
no, you're good. You're good. She'll take it up. Like I think she
Mhm.
probably takes the hand up
Mhm.
from the floor, but she's
Yeah.
no, she's fine. But she is gonna like a little bit hushed at the front desk. Try to talk to this lady.
Yes.
It's just I was actually hoping to work on something, and I don't necessarily want my cousin's over there, and I don't necessarily want him to see, because I was gonna do this, but yesterday we had a fight, and now I'm afraid that if he sees me doing it, then he'll think it's just because of the fight. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna be fine. But do you have like another?
Don't worry,
room,
honey.
or-
I'm not a therapist. I'm not gonna
No,
get into it. It's fine.
I
Don't worry about it.
know, but do you have like another room, or can you just like show me where they are so I know where they are, and then maybe I can keep being in a corner of the room?
Wait, you want to be in the same room as them, or do you want a separate room for your
I'd
documents?
actually
to be
rather
put in?
not. Yeah.
Oh, well, I can arrange for the contract to put your documents in a separate conference room. Currently, you guys have 3Y and 3Z. I could get 3X.
That sounds perfect. Can I get that one?
Yes, it does occur to me. Room 3X is a very odd room, but the documents
It's an odd room.
the documents can be put there.
We have 2 rooms.
I love odd rooms. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I have 3.
The reason, sorry, it's my brain. I just went 3X. Wait, like, aha,
you.
funny.
Yeah, whatever.
yeah. I just went. Wait, that's
It's where
funny.
you have to like, to get to room 3X, you have to go like behind the curtain to
Yeah.
the adult movie
To
section.
the adult movie,
You have
yeah,
to
yeah.
show- Summer has to show her ID to get in, you know, like.
Mhm. Exactly. That's exactly right. But the contract will take all the documents there.
Man, I was thinking about clothes sizes.
Oh. Or like in those cartoons, we'll have like the jug of alcohol just have XXX on it, right?
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's whatever. But yeah, I'll take the 3X.
Cool.
And then maybe like I think as the construct is setting Summer's stuff back up in her order,
Mhm.
she probably just like peeks to try to find like someone stray, like Caden if she can.
Yeah. Caden has wandered away at this point because he's realized that, like, you know, everybody's gonna go get their shit before we go in the conference room.
Mhm.
So he's like, well, I might as well go get mine, and I
Yeah.
can tell you what I wants in a minute, Matt.
No,
Oh, sure.
she's gonna try to find Caden, if she can, who's strayed, or anybody like someone who's straying.
Caden might be your best bet. I think
Okay.
everyone else has
Hey.
set up shop with all the documents they got in the conference room and will
Hey,
begin
Caden.
looking.
You look awful. What's wrong?
Thank you.
Damn, yeah.
Is it still the death thing?
Oh yeah,
mean,
you are
that
still
means-
working off your death penalties, aren't you? I forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, it's been
2 days at least, right?
Yeah, so you have -2 to all ability checks at the moment. Just about.
Hey,
Well, wait, is that how that works, Matt?
Yeah, you have a -4 penalty to all ability checks when you've been raised deaded. And then you
Oh,
work
and it goes
buff day
down
after
by one.
day. Yeah, every time you rest.
Shit.
Because raised dead is a
Are
rough
you-
spell.
Anyway, hey, let me bend your ear. Okay, so here's the deal. I knew we were probably gonna head back to Odgrad, but here's the thing: is I really probably can't stay there. But I was figuring that probably, well, I don't know if Les is gonna want to go back, right? I can't tell sort of where he's at, but I did think, we went underground the first time, and it would be a waste to miss things on the way, right? And he's always wanted to, talk to other people and see other restaurants and chefs and stuff. So anyway, I found a bunch of them, but I haven't finished compiling the list. And I don't really want him to know about it yet. It was kind of supposed to be a surprise, but also I don't want him to think that I'm just doing it so that he won't be mad at me anymore. So like if you could maybe help me, like, just like not maybe him be in the other room where I have to go through like 6 different sets of records to put this together, and so it's kind of hard to hide.
Just
Okay?
go into the other room where no one is. Here's the key. Lock yourself in there.
No, I already have one. And Summer holds up the key for the 3x.
Yeah, it
She's
just
like,
says.
I've
Yeah.
got one.
Okay.
I just was hoping you could like help. Like, it sounds like we're gonna be kind of going in between, and I assume that you're looking up Tusem Jahi, that kind of thing. I'm just thinking while you guys are all looking up, adventure relevant stuff, maybe you could help me sort of not have Lest know about this.
All right.
Maybe?
I will do
Please?
Okay, I will do what I can.
Summer like tilts her head and has her tongue just a little bit between her teeth, and she's beaming and like bouncing a little, and she's like, "See, I knew you're the best. I knew it."
This is emotional extortion. You know this, right?
I'm not keeping anything from you. You know that I would still love you every bit if you didn't do what I wanted. I'm just extra excited that you are doing what I want.
Cool. I love it. Great. Cool. I'm gonna go find the documents I need.
New title of
This
the
day has
episode:
been-
Emotional Extortion.
This day has gone exactly the way I was hoping it would.
Mhm.
I'm having a wonderful time. I'm going to go find the documents I need.
I think during this time, Demos is like showing the teeth to Escale.
Oh, wait, Lest would also be there as well, I think.
Yeah,
You wanna share?
Escale
Yeah,
and
just
Lest
share.
is
Yeah,
like
I
going
think
into
Lex is like kind of.
detail of how he got them.
Oh, you're sharing? You're not sharing how you got them, or you are?
Oh, I am to just
Oh.
these two, just detail.
Oh hell yeah!
Just a consecutive strength checks of trying to pry them out of a man's mouth. Yeah.
Like taking
Yeah.
notes, like, oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Lest, you said you were reacting a certain way to seeing these sharp metallic teeth. They're actually very similar to shark teeth in a lot of ways. These 2 rows that he has.
Or, wait, hoo-ha.
Yeah, they're sharp. What's your reaction to it, Lest? You had said something. You're not. I can't hear you right now. Hello? Hello?
I think he's like, oh, what the fuck? But I think he's kind of settled himself in the corner of the room so he can like lean back and like kind of trying to hide what books he has
Yeah.
because he doesn't want to have to talk about it.
Sure.
And then he's kind of listening in at the same time. So he's probably like reading a bit and then listening to what everyone is talking about and then reading more.
So now if you want...
You
Yeah,
just
go
hear like a couple bits of the conversation here is like, oh yeah, you just heard a couple of cracks and pops.
ahead.
You just He's like, it's much more difficult
Oh.
than one would expect.
Yeah.
No.
The adamantine made it harder to pry than normal teeth.
But the sound it made when
Oh.
they came off. Oh.
um,
Would you like to know what I'm finding?
who are you saying this to?
You, the DM.
Oh yes, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead and tell me what
Cool.
that is. And are you telling the
Yeah.
front desk lady so it's just quick and easy? Go ahead.
I mean, Caden probably knows how to navigate by himself.
I
Like,
would
he-
still have
he
you do an
understands-
investigation check, but the DC would be low.
I mean, he'll ask the front desk
Okay,
lady
okay.
if he has a problem finding him, but like he
Gotcha.
doesn't want to bother her. She has a job to do.
All right. Roll an investigation check. You know, her job of helping people find things in the archives.
Well, I don't know. She might have a job of like she has to
That is fair.
archive
That
something.
is fair.
So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Caden's trying to let her do her goddamn job.
That is fair.
She's actually just doing Sudoku puzzles.
Yeah, if I know anything about people who work in these sort of places, that is all
Hayden.
they're doing.
Caden,
Yes.
are you being a Mr. Grumpy Pants?
Oh my god. Go look at your chefs. Go look at your chefs.
Go look at
Go.
your Ramses
Go.
and your
Go.
Bobby Flays.
Okay, I'm going. I'm just saying your pants would look better if they were less grumpy.
Oh my god, go look at your chefs.
Okay, goodbye.
Caden, what are you looking for?
I want to find several documents. One, I wanted to look up Fusum Jahi, but you know that's
That's
being
our
covered.
documents have already been taken.
Right.
I'd like to know not only about like the building of the house. I want to know when he purchased it, like things like that.
That is all stuff that I think S-Scale
Yeah.
had snagged up. Yeah.
Cool. I'd also like to know if he has banking records.
Okay,
I
that
don't
might
want to
be
know
niche.
like exactly how much money is in his account. I don't know if I'm allowed to have access to that, but I'd
Mhm.
like to know like how he got all this money, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And I want to follow a paper trail there. I also would like to look up in the town we
Oh
started.
wait, this is our first research episode. Sorry, I just got happy because this is our first like going to a library or a record place and doing research. This is fun. Sorry, go
Give
ahead.
us the lore.
The lore
I'd
exposition.
like
sorry.
to know the town we started the adventure in, right?
Oh,
one.
freaking York. No, what is it called? It was York. It was York. Yeah. York.
Yeah, I'd like to look up death certificates.
Oh.
And
Hmm.
I'm looking for S-Scale's name.
Ooh. Okay.
Bruh.
What?
What?
We're alive. What do you mean?
I also want to look up the other wizards that Caden's Master Isaiah was researching with,
Okay.
and see where they are and what they've been doing recently.
The wizards who were interested in that sort of weird stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah. The ones who was.
To be clear, Resort Dawn will have archival stuff because it is a touristy town, like Trisha had talked about, but it won't have like nationwide archives. That would again be the capital city, right? Would have more of that kind
Yes.
of thing. But yeah, that is good. That is good. But York is also really close to here, so that's a good call. Relatively speaking, close to here. All right. So if that's archival information people have snagged, real quick, I mean, listen to episode of Demos if you want more details about how he got the teeth, but are you just sharing like the actual act of getting the teeth out, or are you sharing stuff about the
I
battle?
was just kind of sharing, like, that was just like filler and stuff, so we're not sitting
Yeah,
there
yeah.
twiddling our thumbs. That's all.
Wait, actually, this works perfectly. When Demos is like sitting down with Lest and S-Scale, cut to episode of Demos. He tells his story. That'd be funny. It's a funny cutaway. If this were a TV show, that would be that.
You can put a link with a time tag
Ooh.
in the I
could
believe
be.
in the
Ooh. That,
on
okay, you know
YouTube.
what? I'm gonna write that real quick in the recording. I need to mark the time. Let's say 2 minutes, 2 hours 17. Episode of Demos. Episode Demos time card. Pog.
Pog.
So, real quick, I actually wrote down the different things you guys have tried to snag from archives. Let me know if I have not grabbed this. And I think what we'll do is we'll just kind of go down the list, right? And share lore stuff, right? Not in any particular order, but and some of it's going to be less lore and more you have this information now. For example, chefs en route. That's going to be you have that information now. Because I'm not going to be like fantasy name generator, 20 different
You
chefs.
don't want to just make up 7 people right now and give me their addresses?
Nah, I'd rather not. There's
Good
Rasim
list of names.
Jahi stuff. Original Odinman stuff. Again, once I get through the list, let me know if I missed anything. Soul Roar Guild info. York info, death certificate. Awesamar stuff. Isaiah Pure Wizards. I feel like there was more. What else was the archival stuff you guys grabbed? Chefs en route, Rasim Jahi, Original Odinman, Soul Roar Guild, York info, Awesamar stuff, Isaiah Pure Wizards. Did I miss anything? 3, 2, 1. I don't think so. I don't think I missed anything there. Coolio. All right. So, chefs on the route. We'll start off with Rasim Jahi info, involved with the house and stuff.
Wait, Rossum?
Yeah, that's his first name, right? Or no, what is it? What is it? It's
Rusum.
Rusum. You're right.
Oh.
I just wrote it wrong. It's
With an
Rusum.
F.
Wait, let me find it. Let me go back to when I
Rusum with an
originally...
R. It's or with an F. It's not Rusum. It's Fusum.
Fusum.
Okay.
Jeez, man. All right,
I was
sorry.
concerned. Hang on, there's 3 different names I don't know.
He has a
Have I
lot of
written
middle
wrong
names.
so
He
many
has a
times?
lot of middle names. It's Fusum, Rusum, Rasim.
Like Rock and
Jahi.
Sock'em Robots.
Yeah, he has a lot of middle names. Canon now, he has a lot of middle names.
Nice.
But yeah, you get information on him. He's been living in the city of... I'm gonna write this down too. He's been living in the city of Resort Dawn for about 40 years now. And he moved to the city 40 years ago. So he moved there.
Did it say where he moved from?
It does not, actually.
Okay.
The house was built a little while not too soon after that. It seems that Fusum paid money to have the mansion built. There are some records of the construction people that made it, right? Like the different companies and local guilds, right? Local construction guilds, basically, who worked on it.
Yeah.
And sort of you end up seeing this long list of like the supplies taken from or commissioned from like city and stuff, and it's like numbers of timber, glass, gold, like chandelier, like a list of items that were put into the house, to the mansion. And Eskiel, since you're the one who has it, make me an investigation check.
Oh, I'm so good at these.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at this one. Insight.
Oh,
Wait,
investigation.
Investigation, yeah. -1, 18.
Ooh, okay. Good roll. Good
I
roll.
know, right?
A -1 to investigation is so funny to me. It's like it's jet lag from like, for example, like Malaya's high investigation, and because it's like plus whatever, so that's jet lag for me. But anyway, nonetheless, you.
What? Is it weird to not have somebody with a 27 passive investigation?
Yes, it's very high. But nonetheless, you are looking at it, and sorry, wait, my mind went blank for a sec. Yeah, looking at the list, there are definitely some weird things in there. Commissions for like, I don't know, like a weird amount. That you think a weird amount of like metal bars, things like that. Like, why would you need that in a house? But there's not so much of it that you'd really raise eyebrows, but you notice a few things like that. But it was just commissioned normally to be built shortly after he moved here. Construction began to happen. According to the documents, he had spent quite a long period of time staying at the Sun-Kissed Resort during that time.
Okay.
So living life
Doesn't
of
give a room number, does it?
Let me with an 18 investigation, like looking at the archival information. It's really old records from their like, because the resorts would like have records of who stayed where, and it looks like the city took those records, right? And you begin to kind of go, oh, we're licensed adventurers. This is why I'm allowed to have this kind of information. You do get a room number too. You know where he stayed.
Oh, okay.
Hey Matt, is there blueprints with this records on the house?
Huh?
Are there blueprints?
There are not. There are. Looking at the records, there are the list of the items needed, right? Like they have the records of the items that were like taken for city commission, and there's a construction guild labeled, but there is actually not a blueprint of the mansion there.
Okay.
The accountability
Also-
system in this world is broken.
Also,
Also-
Oh,
So
just that
sorry.
you guys are able to get this information, like.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, we had mentioned this like way back when we were first talking about the system, and I was saying that like, we were talking about the possibility of like people who don't like the guilds, and even the possibility of like our Freeing Wind characters not liking the guilds. And I was like, well, it sounds like they're really corrupt. And you were like, no, they're not. I was like, okay, but the second there's any corruption, there's absolutely no checks and balances system at all to keep any of the people in power from using that power to stay in power and keep being evil. But that's fine, whatever.
As long as
Aslan.
the checks and balances at the moment.
That's concerning.
Yeah,
Fine.
so the construction guild itself, I don't actually have a name off the top of my head, but the construction guild, we'll just call it the local Resort Dawn guild. So just Resort Dawn Construction Guild.
is there any building permits for him to add to the house after its original construction?
Caden, leaning over your shoulder, skills will also begin to look.
I mean,
Oh yeah, totally.
he
totally
also
fine.
was looking at this document.
Yeah. Sort of looking at it, I would say, like, if he's added any more to it.
Yeah, he would have to get a building permit to like add besides its original construction. So if he wanted to like expand the basement or add another level to the house, like he'd have to
You
get
do
a
not
permit.
see anything that indicates that there.
Cool.
That's not to say he didn't do it illegally, but.
Yeah, got it. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's about what you get for the house stuff. In terms of how he earned his money, the archives seem to show that he had money when he moved to the city, because he was able to immediately like start constructing a mansion and had a place to stay. From there, it seems he mostly sort of did fundraising and charity events and nonprofits, but of course there is always profit to a lot of these things. So people have to be paid, including himself. It's sort of the corruption of it happens in real life too. Like people and heads of charity organizations will actually earn quite a lot of money. And so he mostly deals in like charity and like fundraisers, and he's apparently very convincing. There's a long list of like organizations that have agreed to donate money to him, like and other nobles, right? He's very persuasive. And looking at the records, there are a few records of him having people for him, sort of servants and things like that, people who work for him, attend auctions to collect rare artifacts or sort of even art pieces. Like he's eccentric. He grabs a lot of these weird
He
collectible
has people
things.
for that.
But he has other people go out for that. The only time in the archives he seems to go out is during actual charity events. He'll like make an appearance. You do see in the archives that there was a man arrested for attempting to kill him once.
What was his name?
His name was
Sorry.
no worries. Crames. It's like James, but KR Crames.
Okay.
He was arrested, and he is actually still in jail.
Cool.
This happened maybe 5 years ago. So he's been in jail for 5 years now. Attempting to kill him. He attempted to kill him like at a charity event.
That's pretty dumb.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the only time he's out of his house. So.
On the way back.
Fair enough.
Okay. Anyways.
Yeah. What other information did you guys want?
I looked up that. Just anything that was available.
Yeah.
Or anything that Caden would additionally say to look out for them. And the Soul Roar Guild.
The Soul Roar Guild, that's right. We can definitely do that next. Yeah, that's the big information. Even the archives seem to indicate he keeps to himself a lot. You see a lot of documents for charity events. You see he does get paid from these charity events, and other people do too. And then you kind of have that moment where you look at Caden like, is this really the number? And you see the number that actually ended up going to charity, and it's much lower than the money that was actually procured at the end of the day. Yeah. But that's sort of how a lot of big charity organizations work. Yeah. Next, you kind of look at the documents for the Soul Roar Guild. The Soul Roar Guild itself has been around for... this is me needing to remember my timelines again. Close to around 600 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
How long ago was it that the big Noah's Ark ship came here?
More about around the 1,000 number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Yeah. That number is opt to change because I actually need because I have a what's it called, the World Anvil thing. I just need to go in and do more timeline stuff for this campaign, so I can have a better idea of that. But yeah, Soul Roar Guild around that ballpark, in this 500 to 600 years ago. Aslam was made the guild master. He's 80, about 80 right now. Or no, he's older than that. Shoot. He's...
Flip all the way back.
He's over 100, I forget. He's 120, I think. Years old. But when you look at the records about Aslam, they don't really have a record of his birth. So either he was an orphan or something like that. Unclear exactly how old he is, kind of thing. But around that ballpark. Yeah, okay. He looks 40 though. Okay. Yeah, he looks young. Yeah. So he was made to be in charge of the Soul Roar Guild. About 70 to 80 years ago. We'll say 75 years ago.
He became the guild master 75 years ago?
Yeah. So he's been a guild master of this guild for 75 years. That's a lot of Kenku lifespan.
Okay.
There's records of his funds gathered and sort of a ship and sort of just things being brought together. There's the record of him going to the Dark Continent, basically.
Okay.
But not a lot of information about that. There's a long record of the quest he has done.
Yeah.
Lots of adventures from a young age going up. You see, you look all the way back to this old parchment and arcane thing to keep it not from tearing apart. And you just look at it, and it's a young adventurer with a few others takes care of a local basilisk problem. Really small time stuff in his beginnings.
Does it say in the 75 years that Aslam has been the guild master, how many years the Soul Roar Guild has been the top guild?
That would be it has been the top guild for, and to be clear, it has actually kind of gone back and forth. He has not always been the top. It used to go back and forth between him and the Witchers Guild.
Or Witchers, yeah.
Yeah. But in terms of him being that level of like supremacy, about 73 years. So it took 2 years for Aslam to get the guild to that level of like awesome, basically.
And in that 73 years, he's been back and forth, one in first and second place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly because the Witcher's Guild is less known for its like epic heroic quest. It is like the down and dirty, like in the villages, toss a coin to your Witcher to deal with a monster problem, right? Like they are, that's where their popularity comes from, is they handle the local problems really efficiently.
I love it.
Yeah.
We're just playing a different character for it. I love it. Okay.
I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, lots of people have been in the guild, well-known heroes. There's some interesting stuff. He's been involved in a lot of like talks and like dialogues with people. So there's like records of that. He's had a sit-down talk with someone by the name of Malaya before. A sit-down chat with
Write that down.
yeah.
They argued.
Yeah, it seems to be mostly an argument about like sort of the philosophy of like greater good, that kind of thing. Like Aslam seems to be in favor
Distribution of power,
the greater
secrecy,
good.
piracy, privacy.
Looking at it briefly, like Aslan very much is the kind of guy to be like, a hero has to make sacrifices, and that sometimes includes morality. Morality is sometimes the sacrifice a hero needs to make.
Cool.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's allowed to be wrong. You should allow people to be wrong.
Yeah, Malaya disagrees. There's other talks he's been involved in. There are records of the Adventure Lord meetings, right? Because there's 7 of them at any given time. And in the recent documents, there have been heavy arguments between Aslam and Asperia, the guild master of the Azorius Guild.
That's Asperia?
Yeah. A sphinx. Yeah, a sphinx. Yeah.
Oh, right. We just knew someone from the...
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, Asperia is the guild master. You just met a smaller member of that guild who was there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The only guild master who was present for the exams was Aslam. The rest were the only adventure lord. Or here's the thing: when guilds get big enough, they get offshoots. Everyone there were guild masters, but only Aslam was like the head.
Not primary guild masters.
Yeah, the only the
Gotcha.
rest were not primary. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know the wizard Yanti lady.
Yeah, she was
Supposed to be a guild master.
Yeah, she was the guild master of the York one, I believe.
Okay.
So, of the York offshoot of hers.
Sorry, can you say the Sphinx's name one more time?
Asperia. That's Isperia. And don't look her up in the monster manual, because you will find her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No problem. Didn't know anything about it.
Nope.
She's a real stickler for library late fees.
Well, she's a stickler for law in general. And the arguments...
Like library late fees?
The arguments therein, usually you look at what is written of those meetings, because a lot of it is kept confidential, but like people will come out of those meetings and be like, oh yeah, Aslam said some snide remarks about how Asperia is working with and working up the ranks of government while also trying to be an adventure lord, and Aslam essentially calling her out for that at every meeting, at every opportunity.
I love it.
And then her just sort of being mad at him, and then him being like, I'm still in charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
How
like
many
the
late
flex
books?
there is.
Yeah, basically flexing on her all the time.
Okay.
And I mean, yeah, that's sort of the information you get primarily about all of that.
Well, that's 20 minutes more than I expected. Dope.
No worries. Sorry, I'm just dropping info, baby.
That's okay. I'm getting it written down, so I'm not upset.
So the original Odin men, Demos.
Andrew?
Andrew, is he here? He might not be here.
You're muted.
You're muted,
I
my
am
friend.
messing with my computer.
No worries. Make a investigation check for me, Demos.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be that high because you have all the documents in front of you. The construct organized it very well for you.
I can't even read this is. This is good enough to be very low. 12?
12. Looking at it, you get a good bit of information. The Odin men came about very early on when the Noah first arrived here. The original Odin men were various groups of hunters, sailors, and those who sort of went off and created sort of local groups to survive in the rough terrain that is where Vicon is now. And a lot of talk in there of them learning how to get by all this like crazy sort of elemental, because like Solenda is known for its areas of powerful elemental like power, and how these groups of people were able to survive there and had acquired a somewhat positive relationship with the Genasi, though they weren't integrated necessarily. But and it essentially seems to be that in the long first couple generations where, you know, a new settlement would be made, but then other settlements would fall apart, the Odinmen were just the survivors and the people that eventually cultivated this culture of honor and survival and sort of this having to live in this tough part of the world. And they just sort of developed this culture of exploration, survival, but doing so honorably, right? Like not doing so in like an animalistic way, like a lot of rituals of like hunting, and then doing like a ritual of like, oh, thank you for this animal, right? That kind of thing. A very honorable ritual and markings and all that kind of thing. But it did stem from just the survivors of settlements that fell apart. The survivors mostly being sailors or hunters, people like that. And so these groups slowly formed. The group, like a groups of strong people, right? Basically.
Mm-hmm.
And their culture developed and grew. They all share similarities, but there are differences. There are differences between tribes. And then around 30 years ago, and they eventually cultivated this idea of Odin, who was this idea of the most honorable, this ideal version of what an Odinman could be. That was Odin. This sort of mythological idea of like, you know, Odin's watching, be like Odin, right? What would Odin do, right? That kind of thing. And then 30 years ago, when the Dawn Eater was destroyed and a surplus of spiritual and supernatural energy went into the world, the concept of what it meant to be an Odinman, aka the ideal of Odinman, became Odin, this lesser god of the culture of the Odinmen. He was sort of representative of a conglomeration of the different tribes, right? So he isn't just the god of your tribe, he's the god of the diversity of the Odinmen, right?
Yeah.
And from there, records show there began to be clerics of Odin, and paladins, that kind of thing, as well. And it did also show that the records do also show that some Odinmen tribes have recently, since 30 years ago, begun to fall apart slightly. Less because Odin, be the god, isn't really the example given in these records for them falling apart. It's mostly the development of cities and society and just the tribes slowly being assimilated into like settled life, basically. And yeah,
Okay. I mean, that's really about what I
what
was
you
looking
wanted.
for.
Yeah. For sure, for sure.
That's it.
All right. York info. I hate to tell you, Caden, you do not find a record of a burial, of a death, or anything of someone by the name of Escale in York records. Caden, are you here?
Who's
Yes.
Escale?
Yeah. You don't see any
Escale.
records of someone dying by the name of Escale or being buried by the name of Escale in the city of York. Yeah, or in the town of York. So that's quick, but that is honestly all I have for you in terms of
Cool.
that.
What about if I pull up
Isaiah,
some
Pure Wizards.
newspapers
Yeah, good.
from York, do I get any records of any sort of like adventures taken out in that area that had to do with necromancy?
Looking through the records, there's one instance of some sort of necromancy going on in the town of York, and it is like about 60 years ago.
Shit.
Yeah.
What
so,
happened? Do I know?
There was a necromancy in the nearby hills who had been or hills. Let me check if that's correct in terms of terrain. Yeah, in like the nearby sort of plains and hills, that was really starting off wasn't a powerful necromancer, but was causing some trouble, and some adventurers took care of it.
Dope.
The Witchers Guild specifically is noted for taking care of it, but it was noted by the Witchers people who did it as a pretty easy job.
Cool.
Yeah.
What is the significance of the city of York? Is that where we started?
The town of York
Yep.
is where you guys started, yeah.
Just want to double check. Thank you.
No worries. Cool. Your peer wizards. You look at documents about the peers of Isaiah. They are still working throughout places like Odingrad now. A lot of them have gone. Yeah, I honestly don't have anything too unique for you there. They've just kind of split off from, or they've kind of seemed to still be
They've
going
always
about
been
their
split.
business. Yeah, they've always been
Yeah.
split. They're just still going about their business, it seems. Despite Isaiah's passing, they are still working.
Yeah. I just
Um,
wanted to know if any of them have like made connections about where Isaiah was actually working.
I see. You don't get any impression from the documents that that's the case.
Cool.
And then lastly, Awesamar stuff, Lest.
Hello.
Hello. Once again, you sort of grab the documents and you see the transition. It talks a lot about, there's a lot of philosophical stuff that, or like metaphysical stuff that, are you that interested in, Lest? I don't know. But there's stuff about like the levels, and like you gather this is like a spiritual practice of like sort of almost like a path to like some sort of enlightenment, like a humbling to rise up, that sort of thing. And there's some records of that, of just like, this is a practice that some local Aasimar do sometimes. And then there's some archival documents of some recent of like people who were snapped over to the Celestial plane for a bit and brought back, like, oh, this is an Aasimar. We thought it was a human, a different species, but nope, they're an Aasimar now. And that sort of record needing to be changed is a bit of that. Do you see a pamphlet called "So Your Son or Daughter," so your child is an Aasimar, what to do? Right? And other documentation you see about that stuff is that it seems since the Dawn Eater was destroyed, that there has been less stigmatization against fallen Aasimar from the general Aasimar community. And there are a lot more clerics and those working with gods and more people involved in the celestial world of things that are trying to help fallen Aasimar rather than completely reject them, kind of thing. It seems the culture changed from excising fallen Aasimar like a cancer to let's get you some help. Yeah, seems to be
Yeah.
the culture that has changed since then. So there you go. It's like the difference. It's weirdly synonymous with the difference of mental health in a lot of ways. Like it used to be throw them in the asylum, and now it's like help them, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that seems to
Yeah,
be
that's
the
like a weird
change.
parallel.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a weird parallel to be like weirdly in there for
Yeah.
some reason.
But yeah. That's kind of what you find on that. You also find that there is a community of some sort. I'm not going to go into detail because I don't know the details. Sorry. Some sort of community in Omega where Aasimar live, basically.
Boys,
Yeah.
you did it.
I won't go into detail because I don't know the detail, but no, there is a really
Hey, who
nice
knows?
community there. Who knows? Yeah. But I know at least that much. So.
And they're slowly conquering the world.
Probably.
Surprise!
Shut up.
Yeah. But that's what you get for Aasimar info. And with that, archival info has been done.
Wait.
Oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Is there any stuff on the season giver?
Oh, season caller. Sure.
Yeah.
You didn't necessarily. We'll say you grabbed that. It's chill.
I
This.
did. I said season.
Oh, you said season caller. My bad.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes, they did.
All right. So, looking at the season caller archive stuff, it's archives of temples to the season caller, of which there's one in Omega in the nation of Valor, but there would also be one in the nation of Selenda, in the nation of Chime. There's a temple to the season caller there as well. And there's documentation sort of like of different clerics that have come by, who serve the season caller, the different sort of rituals that are done to keep an eye out for, right? Season caller is primarily, she calls the seasons from each direction. So she's described as a sort of having 4 heads and her body's facing 4 directions. And each one's a different season. And so usually when you see her in a vision, depending on a lot of factors, it can be the literal season you are in. But it can also be more symbolic. She will appear to you as one of the seasons, basically. And her imagery and the symbolism she gives is often tied to seasonal imagery. So if you get a vision of like leaves falling, that might indicate death, right? Or that kind of thing, right? But it also talks about how she sort of keeps the Fae in line. She's one of the gods that does that. There's a few that kind of fall in that category of gods that kind of interact with the Fae. But she sort of makes sure that Fae creatures don't mess with nature too much. She's like if a powerful Fae creature was like, hey, yo, this forest, never gonna change seasons. The season caller would go, no. Kind of backhand slap them like, no, the seasons need to change. Get out of here.
Get
yeah, that kind of thing. And kind of keeps them in the Feywild. And they prefer to stay in the Feywild anyway, because from what you gather, the gods aren't collectively the biggest fan of them. And any chance the Fae can get to stay out of the ire of gods is good, because they are not as strong as the greater gods at the very least. The Fae are about on level with like lesser gods probably, but greater gods, they're like, nah, let's not mess with that. We'll stay out of their hair. But yeah, that's sort of what you get about her at the season.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, do I see like the bracelet that Mick gave me?
Oh, like the symbols and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all sorts of symbols for it. It's usually like a flower, but each petal's like a different season kind of thing, or representative of a different season.
Okay.
And that's sort of the design on your bracelet as well. All right, all right.
Thank you.
So, the archives have been looked over. What do y'all want to do? I just did.
Keegan wanted us to do when we came here. What's up, Dr. Caden?
Well, Dr. Caden had a plan, but that plan went down the shithole. So, he's just grumpily sifting through documents right now. Like, you can see him, he's got like a look on his face.
Are we good to go? I would love a drink.
I agree, but we need to decide where we're going.
Oh, I forgot. That's right.
I'm pretty much just like staring kind of catatonically because that was a lot of reading.
yeah, I'm the same way when I've had to do a lot of reading. I'm like, I'm
Can
done.
I throw a book at him?
Yeah, go ahead and roll an attack roll. It's improvised attack.
I'm not going to damage.
Yeah, okay. Just still roll an attack roll though, just to hit.
Must be natural 20 and still hurt.
19.
Oh.
It's a natural 19.
That definitely
I'm
hits.
assuming you haven't gained that much shit in a week.
A book sort of lands on your head a little bit. You don't take any damage, but
Ah,
It'd be like lap.
yeah.
Caden raises an eyebrow and goes, "Don't do that, that's disrespectful to the documents."
Just making sure he's still
what
awake.
about me?
Summer like prances into the doorway a little bit. She's like hasn't had a good read in a couple weeks. It was low stakes. She got to chase her curiosity across like a continent.
There's two different people. There's the people that are S scale who has zoned out now after all that reading, and there's people like Summer who are skipping after having
Hey, you
read.
guys!
Forgot, Matt. There's three. There's people like Demos who's like, let's go get a drink.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's
Yeah,
just
no,
want them a
great.
hotel
Well, I'm
with
hungry.
like a little cooking area because we need to make more shit.
I'm hungry.
We go to sleep.
It is really late at night now because you guys spent a good amount of time studying and reading.
How
Yeah,
long?
I'd say we're probably at like 10:45 p.m.
Perfect. I'm not sleeping.
Yeah, you don't sleep anyway. You're good.
Well, I mean that in multiple levels.
Yeah.
Can we pick an inn to stay at, please?
There's a few. There's.
Yes, magic voice in the sky, I'm aware. I'm
Yes, we
wondering
know.
if we're going
But I think
to
the
the
party.
Blue Hour again.
I think the party needs to probably talk about what in. I mean.
Yes.
You knew it.
Can I flip a coin? Can we do that? Would that help?
I would like to.
Well, I feel like I've already kind of said
S scale.
my piece.
S scale was trying to
What?
say something. I think.
I would like to formally redact my vote for going to the Blue Arrow tonight. I'm still curious. But I think going to the Sun-Kissed Inn could be interesting.
It's very
I agree.
expensive.
We just got paid money.
Let me
will
real
say,
quick check
I
out
also
this.
just spent 400 gold, so I only have 37 gold left.
Let me tell you exactly
I
how
only have
much it
30
would be
gold
real
to my
quick.
name.
Yeah, tell us how much it would be.
Yeah, I'll find it real quick.
Assume we share a suite and Summer gets a sleeping bag on the kitchenette or whatever.
We have 1,000 gold within our funds, so
That'll be more than enough for at least a night there if you needed to. Jesus.
I was thinking we could potentially stay a night somewhere and then stay a night at Blue Hour and stay a night somewhere else. Hop around a little bit. That might actually
an
give us-
excellent idea.
Because here's what I was thinking, and I really don't actually want necessarily to follow up on what Aslam is doing, but I was thinking that if you guys really want to, he's as likely to have told us to stay there because of someone he doesn't want us to see as he is someone he does. It might actually be a better idea to not only stay at the Blue Hour, but some of the competition as well. Not to mention the fact that almost certainly everywhere else is going to have a better kitchen.
fancy one. Fuck it.
Yeah, because an individual room in a fancy one for each person would be 4 gold. If you wanted like the penthouse suite in any given one, you're looking at 10 gold for each person.
Is that the one where we all share a common room?
Yeah, that's the one where you would each share a common room. Yeah. 10
And it
gold
would
each.
take 10 gold. I say we do it.
List
10 gold per person or
look
for the
available.
suite?
Per person. Be 50
Oh,
gold.
fuck me.
I'll pay for it this time. I've been gone a while.
Never mind, List. He's paying for
all right. So you guys are gonna spend the night at the Sunkissed Resort, but I hear you guys are wanting to visit maybe the other one, right? Is that what I was hearing?
Maybe. Yes.
Yeah, we're going to the Sunkissed to drink, though. You know they got the best shit.
You know
Right.
they do. You know they do.
And a better kitchen. And do you guys out of character, do you get what I'm saying in terms of like
Yes.
Aslam, there could be somebody right at like rando middle class hotel that Aslam doesn't want us to see.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I got you. I'm fine with
Yeah.
this plan. Caden's also exhausted.
Go ahead, Demas.
And Demos goes, perhaps over that drink we can talk about direction.
Arriving
Yeah,
at
Tell me
the
about the dragon.
yeah. So on the way there, you're gonna tell them about the dragon.
No, over the
Yeah,
drink.
over the drink. Yeah. Arriving there, the Sunkissed Resort, the Prologues Resort was like nice. It had like a lot of like gold inlay. It was like big, a lot of like carpeting and like nice furniture. The Sunkissed Resort is very open format. It's closer to the upper district. It has a lot of like sunroof or like sunrooms around, and you can
Cool.
just tell there's a lot of light here. You know, there's like, you see people come out of a room that's labeled tanning room.
Tanning?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah. It seems to be a place that mostly the nobility come for like a quick little spa day or something. But also that traveling nobility come. This is really close to the upper class part of the city. Whereas the Prologues Resort you gathered was much more merchants, upper merchants or like adventurers would stay there, kind of thing, like high tier adventurers. Okay, and
What, Matt?
nothing, and
Hmm?
and
What is it, Matt?
you arrive and looking for rooms. Eskill, that room you are interested in is available.
Dick.
Is
I
it
would
the
like to
suite?
also get it.
It's an individual room. It's not a suite. That Eskill is looking at.
I'd like to also,
Get
or
that.
I guess just get that.
You can just spend 4
Right,
gold
right.
pieces, and then Demos is paying 50 gold for everyone. So you're just wanting to get it so you can look at it, right?
Yep.
Got you. Yep. Cool. You guys have go
I
up.
just said it's just mainly what Demos does around SEO.
For sure. What? As you guys end up, there is not a televator here. I know, tragic. There is an actual. There's actual actual elevator with like a pulley system, and like a mechanical sort of deal. That can pull you up.
I love this is so much more interesting to Summer than the magic one. This is so cool.
Yeah. It pulls you on up. Because you saw it recently, Caden, this also looks... Well, no, this actually would look, in contrast to a Nuvian make, this looks like Mechanus sort of construct work. And it can bring you up, and you are in one of the penthouse suites here at the Sunkissed Resort. Walking in, you walk in and you're like, oh, that's weird. Because I forgot to mention, it is like nighttime, so the sun wasn't really coming in the bottom room, but you've walked in here and it feels like it's daytime again. There's like daylight coming through the windows. It looks like day outside. And you see a little like tablet, almost like a pedestal by the window with like a Minecraft clock that you can like change a little switch. You can change what a time of day
Pixelated.
it looks like outside, basically. And you actually feel like you are being hit by sun rays, as if like it's not just look, it feels it too.
I mean, cool.
Yeah. You can set mood lighting anytime. It can be sunset all the time.
Or darkness all the time.
Well, darkness all the time, yeah. And you gather that this is sort of what Sunkissed Resort is known for. The room's been able to do this.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah. Or one of the things it's known for.
I see.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
ominous.
I mean, the other is the suntan room. That definitely is for suntanning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
I think, Summer's just gonna like. It's pretty late, right?
It is pretty late. It might be time to sleep.
Demos.
Yeah,
What?
Demos is grabbing a drink.
Oh yeah, Demos. Yeah, in the penthouse suite there is a bar, and you kind of go to it and you're like, "There's not a cool robot," but then you hear a voice go, "Would you like something, sir?"
Oh fuck.
Nani?
The fuck?
Oh, I'm here. Wait. Look
Who's
down.
away?
Look down.
And
And
you
you
get over the counter, like straight down.
you look down. There's a gnome fellow there.
Yeah.
Wait,
Nice.
you're. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Um.
I'm your butler here.
Oh boy.
Don't worry, I'm almost off of work. Well,
Oh,
I
what's your
essentially.
name?
Oh, my name is
James.
what's the name of Batman's butler?
Alfred.
Alfred.
My name's Alfred.
Oh, that's. Oh, hello, Alfred. I'm Summer.
Nice to meet you, Summer.
Before we get to you, Alfred, we need to have a quick word with the compatriots.
Oh,
I mean,
do you
we
want a
quietly
drink?
go- I will get to that in 1 second.
Oh, okay.
But yes. Do
If you wish for me not to be able to hear, he pulls out some earplugs.
I mean, it is like, do we want him here? Do we want to like let
I
him
don't.
leave? Do we just
I
get our
don't.
own?
I actually very much. I am actually fine with making my own drinks.
Well,
Do you want me to like throw him or like?
No,
No.
no, stop it. No, you tip him, and you, for Pete's
I'm
sake.
making a joke. Don't you worry.
I-
Lost a sense of humor since I've been gone.
I died.
I was hoping you'd actually go and do it.
So was I. I
I know.
That's
The-
not a joke, man.
yeah, the
Yes,
fallback,
Demos
the
says, like-
fallback. Oh, it's a joke.
Yeah, Demos is like, it was a joke. I wasn't gonna do it, and Summer gives him a look like, sure, yeah, sure.
The gnome goes.
I'll go to the butler
Yep.
and I'll tip them like to go and say, why don't you just leave for the night and
Oh,
don't come back?
Hey,
tomorrow
listen.
night."
that's all you needed to say as he holds up the coins, and he heads out of the room.
Bye, Alfred.
See ya. He closes the door as he leaves.
So-
I think over the door,
So-
I wonder how I could launch it.
Say that again, Andrew.
As he leaves the room, I'm like, I wonder how far I can launch it.
I'll let you test it with Rupert later.
Demos, do you trust him as far as you can throw him?
Turns out he's not even like an actual worker here. He's just a dude that like sits in the rooms and waits for people to come in and tells him he's the
And
butler so that he can
and they
get
tip
coin.
him
Yeah.
to get him to leave. Yeah, that is a great scam that I totally intend to pull now.
And
That's fantastic.
as you guys sort of laugh at Demos saying like, how far could I throw him and all that kind of thing, and you guys are here. I'm actually gonna say, I think this is where we'll end the session because Josh has to dip at 8, and
Oh, okay.
I think this will be a good time for us to end here because I don't want us to jump into like a conversation and then that kind of thing. So thank you all for listening. I'm gonna end the episode. Bye-bye. Bye.